stomping on the bleachers. Low snap. The kick is good. Great move after the catch. First down and more. Now Coleman showing you the speed. Breaks the tackle. Still up the 5 and in for the touchdown. Wow. He's gone. Gould showing you the speed. One man to beat. Yanoko's going to break. He's going. Yanoko inside the 5. He's over the pylon. Touchdown. We got a game. Pinkerton. Going to throw on the run. Wygott pulls it in with one hand, and now he's in the end zone. Trying to shake off a man at the 15. He's at the 5, and he's into the end zone. Left Hindle, short pass, put big hit here at the line of scrimmage. Gino in motion, snap taking Heening, going to throw down the seam. He's got Coleman in the end zone. Well, hello everyone, and welcome here to Derry. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals with you. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. The Pinkerton Astros colliding with the Concord Crimson Tide here in week number 9, the final week of the regular season, and statewide, at least division-wide tonight, no game has bigger ramifications than this one. The outcome could sway the upcoming tournament seedings one way or another. Both teams kind of view this as a playoff game. We spoke with Coach O'Reilly of Pinkerton last night, Coach Jim Corkum of Concord as well. But Steve, no matter what happens, this one between two evenly matched football teams, same record at 6-2, looking for a home game and beyond in the upcoming 4-week postseason tournament.
Yeah, and you know, Nick, this has so many implications on the whole playoff setup. I would imagine that there's a lot of people that are going to tune in and want to see the outcome of this game, Nick, and how both of these teams play. The impact of the win and the loss in this game will go all the way. Will pretty much impact 10 teams of how all those. So nobody really knows who's playing. You don't see that very often. And that just shows you the parity that's going on throughout Division One. As you said, Nick, Coach O'Reilly said this is a playoff game. If you look at the winner and you look at the pathway that they have through the playoffs potentially, it's a much better situation than the loser. So there's a lot at stake. If you lose this game, you probably get a home preliminary round, but you probably or may not get a home field advantage into the quarterfinals. So that's a lot. Home field advantage and playing in home cooking is a big item. Let's talk about both of these teams really quickly, Nick. Concord coming off a loss to Wyndham. That Wyndham 48-minute of hard play football just continues throughout the season. Don't take them lightly. They are on the march. Concord's got loaded with talent. Zach Dowd, great quarterback. It has so many quality elements. And Ilya Bahoma, who is arguably one of the most effective, and I'm sure he's at the top of the list there, or near the top as far as yardage. On Pinkerton's side, they come off a loss to Brockton High School, a massive school of 4,000 to 5,000 people. The Brockton Boxers are an institution in Massachusetts, and that game was tight until the couple of fumbles at the end. But if anybody has watched that game, you will see the Pinkerton Astros are not the same Pinkerton Astros of 6, 7, 8 weeks ago. And the big thing is Herzem, the quarterback here, never really played much varsity, if any at all. He was able to now have some weeks behind him to develop. The offense is moving. We knew they had a good defense, Nick, all the way back to the Londonderry game. The offense is cooking now. So I find both of these teams in a good position for different reasons. I have no doubt Concord is mad as a hornet coming out in this game. They want to vindicate their loss last week and show the team that they've been other than that game all year long. Pinkerton comes off taking on one of the best city teams in the state of Massachusetts. It's going to be a great matchup.
Well, again, they played their hearts out in that one, a one-score game most of the way.
Unbelievable.
A game that featured over 100 combined points. The Astros on the losing end of the 59-44 final score, but responded well last week, putting up 38 in a victory over Manchester Central, and again arrive here tonight on their home turf field under the lights. at 6-2. Concord, they lost a season opener against defending champion Londonderry, then rattled off 6 straight. Last week, home against Wyndham, looked like business as usual early on with Elia Bahuma, the aforementioned junior tailback, running for over 100 yards in the first half, and all 3 Concord touchdowns.
Yep.
Crimson Tide had a 21-0 lead, but the second half, a different story as Concord was shut out. Wyndham came back, and the Jaguars have the night off tonight and finish up the regular season at 6-2. So there is longtime head coach Brian O'Reilly, as we saw on the screen a moment ago. Astros out here well over an hour before the game practicing. It's senior night tonight, so some additional festivities here pregame, but both schools look like they're ready to go, and plenty of pageantry as usual around the game tonight between 2 of the premier teams in Division I.
This isn't the first game, and it won't be the last game that we do around Halloween, where the band dresses up, and boy, they've got some costumes that weren't put together in a matter of 5 minutes. Nick, those things are pretty cool. So they are a good band. Excited about hearing them play the anthem and a halftime show for those who don't know us. Obviously, thanks for joining us. The band will be at halftime playing, so tune in to the Pinkerton Astro band. But, Nick, you were talking about the coaches really quick. One of the things that we saw last night on Gridiron on Thursday night was that both of these coaches are cool, collective. They're very much in tune with their teams, and you can see why they've got better throughout the year. Especially Pinkerton's done an amazing job improving to a great degree.
Both head coaches on the opposite end of the spectrum in terms of experience. Jim Corkum in his second season done a great job turning around the program, so to speak, in a short amount of time. And, of course, Coach O'Reilly, 44 years on the sidelines.
Yep.
All right, we will step aside, come back, and it's game time here in Derry. Our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance, is next. Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
Hey, I'm Chad, the owner of New Hampshire iPhone Repair. We're New Hampshire's most trusted and affordable repair shop for your iPhone, iPad, iPod, and even Android needs. Don't worry, we're affordable, reliable, and we back our parts with a lifetime warranty. And do you know what the best part is? No, what? We can repair your phone while you wait.
I know, that's why I'm here.
Oh, I know, Mrs. Green. Here's your iPad, good as new. Bring your phone into New Hampshire iPhone Repair today.
I'm Travis Kelsey, and this is Zen Water. The perfect alkaline water for sports hydration and the only water that's in a bottle that prevents ocean pollution. Ultra pure alkaline water in a bottle that prevents ocean pollution. Why would you drink anything else? Seriously, why would you drink anything else?
The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited, Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school, varsity, and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com. How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include tickets and discount cards to hundreds of local businesses. MG Sports now has a digital platform where athletes can raise funds in the comfort and safety of their own home. Don't waste another season. Raise more funds than ever before and become another football program in New Hampshire that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit MG
SportsFundraising.com to start raising money for your team today.
Back here at Pinkerton, coin toss in the books. National anthem on the way here in our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. A lot on the line tonight. Both teams hoping to finish the regular season at 7-2 and host a playoff game next week. Let's send it down to the field now for the national anthem performed by the Pinkerton Astro Marching Band. That's the Pinkerton Astro Marching Band in full Halloween garb tonight. Doing a great job, as usual, with the national anthem. A big crowd here tonight in Derry, a crisp night here with Halloween approaching. Temperatures in the mid-40s, not much of a wind. And a good, strong showing of support here on the near sideline from the Astro community. Some folks have made the trip south from the nation's, or the state capital of Concord, to cheer on the Crimson Tide. Coin toss in the books. Pinkerton won the toss, deferred to the second half. So Coach O'Reilly going to trust his defense, and we should see the explosive Concord offense first here tonight in just a moment.
It's amazing, Nick. You go 20 years ago and you never saw a deferral, only in rare cases, and the crowd would all sit there, scratch their heads. Why didn't you take the ball? Now it's a mainstay. As Belichick football has swept the culture of New England and the philosophy of trust your defense and look for that, getting that to receive it in the second half when you have a better understanding of where the game's at. So,
Concord will send the dangerous Eli Bahuma back. We saw him a couple of times early in the season. Ran for over 300 yards in a Week 2 win over Keene. He's back at the 5-yard line. This is a squib down the middle. Handled on the far side. Coming up across the 30 and with a gap. Here's the dangerous man with one to beat at the 40. The kicker trying to trip him up. Going to roll forward down to about the 30-yard line.
And that's exactly what the Crimson wanted to start, how they wanted to start this game, Nick. Kept it away from Bahoma And, boy, we talk a lot, Nick, here on Friday Night Lights about choosing a lane and going full blast. Watch this. He waits for the lane, and then bang, he goes 100 miles an hour through it, and there's only a short window. Got a nice wedge there.
5'9" senior Devon Duncan nearly went to the house, but was tripped up there at the last moment by Craig Coventry. The senior kicker got in his way and ultimately made the stop at the 30-yard line. Concord still with a short field on 1st and 10. It's Duncan around the corner inside the 30, down to about the 28-yard line. Wrestled down there by Matt Fioli, one of the many talented and veteran linebackers here with Pinkerton. It goes, though, for a good 8 yards to set up 2nd down and 2.
Yeah, both of these teams like to run the ball, and both of these teams can run the ball. They do it well. Their blockers get out front. They're very good at establishing angles on both sides here. This is going to be a good running football game with some play action out of it, and they got the tools in that area as well.
2nd down and 2. Pinkerton with 4 down linemen. Bohuma's first carry is a counter left side. He's got the 1st down. Stood up at about the 15-yard line. Going to give him 7 in the end. And a fresh pair of downs on the way. Bohuma, an interesting story. Played football for just the first time 2 years ago as a freshman. Was injured last year as a sophomore, didn't play at all. And then comes seemingly out of nowhere here at the varsity level to take the state by storm.
Well, there's a lot of good backs in Division I, Nick, across the board, but to me, nobody shifts and moves and jabs quite upfield and can break in ankles quite like Bohuma can. He is a special package in the backfield.
Here he is, the tail in the eye. 2 receivers left. They'll pitch to Bohuma. He'll take the cut to the 10-yard line. Looking to make a man miss at the 5 before he's tackled from behind. Another solid pickup there on 1st down.
Yeah,
6 in the end to set up a 2nd and 4.
Well, we talked on Gridiron last night, Nick, with the coaches and then a little bit after about watching him. Watch him when he runs through the hole. He cuts back. He reads the hips of his blockers, and he finds small seams and then still stays up. He also protects the ball quite well. So here we go. We'll talk more about him.
Pinkerton crowd chanting defense. Bohuma on 2nd down is spun around and taken down at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
Good read.
Benjamin Walders.
Out of the 2nd level.
I think that was 45, wasn't it? Or was it 46? It may have been 46. Yeah, I think that was 46. I thought it was 45, so.
Meanwhile, 3rd and 1.
Jackson Collins.
Bohuma is the wing to the near side. Doward, senior quarterback, is going to call his own number and push forward for the 1st down. Going to set up a 1st and goal situation. Needed 1, got about 1.5 on his first carry of the night. Doward, as we know, a dual threat.
That was interesting play there, Nick. They had Bohuma out, as you said, on the wing, thinking he was going to pull a bunch of linebacker resources and orient everything towards him, thinking Doward, but they covered that hole very, very nicely, Pinkerton did, on that play. You got to watch Austin, Bohuma, and Doward almost every play.
Well, you mentioned the big senior 6'2" tight end, Austin Wells.
Yep.
Aligned here tight to the near side. Bohuma, left side, looking for pay dirt, and he's got it.
Yeah.
It's a 4-yard touchdown run.
Watch the left tackle block and the left guard here, Nick. They did a terrific job of creating him a little seam and a little walled off the defense. Watch the left tackle. Watch here. Completely seals off and opens up a nice hole, also with some other support on the outside. That's a nice offensive line package that the Crimson has there. Terrific job. Clearly won the battle there.
Sophomore fullback threw a nice block as well, Theodore Schneebel.
Yes.
So Bohuma scores from 4 yards out. The extra point attempt is up and good. Off the right foot of Jacob Plant, the senior. So not the start the home team was looking for as Concord. A good kickoff return, sets up a short field, and they cash in 6 plays later, a 30-yard touchdown, 30-yard scoring drive.
Yep.
Capped off by the 4-yard touchdown run by Bohuma.
Yeah, who ran that kickoff, Dick? I was trying to get, was that?
That was Devon Duncan.
Devon Duncan. So recap that. You got Bahoma back there with Duncan. They was clearly they were going to kick it on the ground deep to Duncan. That was who they wanted to run it. Not sure, Nick. I mean, special teams. How many games have we seen a special teams big play? Here we go right here. Watch how he fires through that hole right there, and he picks up the tremendous amount of speed. And what a terrific job by Coventry. Just getting in the way, slowing him down, and he still stayed up, and Lake was able to bring him down. But that sort of field position, when you give that plus Bahoma, that's going to be a tough thing to defend.
Just over 3 minutes gone by here in the opening quarter, so the senior night crowd quieted, at least for the moment.
Well, answer back is the key. But you hate giving up if you're Pinkerton those opening type plays on special teams.
Plant got the ball teed up at the 40-yard line. Just 2 steps, swings the right leg. It's a short, high kick handled here by Fioli near side across the 30. Met at about the 33-yard line, and it's pushed backwards. They'll mark him at about the 34, it looks like. So that's where Pinkerton's offense will come on the field for the first time, led by the junior quarterback Tim Hersom, listed at 6'4".
I think he's all of that.
Junior kind of won the job in camp, although Coach O'Reilly told us had an eye on him last year as well, behind longtime starter Nate Campos, who graduated, of course, back in June. But this offensive unit for the Astros seemingly has gotten better
every week
by the week. They face a 7-0 deficit here. They hand to Jake Albert, longtime starter. The senior is all the way to midfield on his first carry, which goes for 15 yards.
Yeah, if you don't stop him behind the lines, Nick, he's very difficult when he turns upfield. He does a great job running off tackle. And what I saw from Jake there was a clear, healthy Jake. We saw him a couple of times there last year when he was battling injury. When he turns that corner, look at him, he gets right, lowers his shoulder right into it. That's a nice piece of running right there. He's done it all along.
Met out of the secondary by the senior Isaiah Turner on the stop. Meanwhile, a good stretch run here. It's going to go for a first down.
Yeah,
that's Matt Morrison, sophomore, around the right end for 12. So 2 plays, 2 first downs here, both on the ground for the home team.
This is what I saw with Brockton, Nick, when I was able to sneak a little video, a little film on them on Pinkerton there, and it's a lot of this. The precision. Hersom seems much more comfortable with the handoff, selling his fakes, and the plays seem to be developing quicker with a lot more speed and technical capabilities.
Inside run on 1st and 10. Hole snap shut down at the Concord 35-yard line. Wells in there on the tackle, along with Oscar Humelsign Perez, the junior, limping a little bit there, coming out of the pile. He's going to head over to the sideline. Meanwhile, just a 2-yard gain officially, 2nd down and 8 on the way.
Yeah, Hersom looks very comfortable out there right now, Nick. We saw him in the very early part of the season.
Quick snap, pitch to Albert. Got some blocks downfield. He's got a first down. He's inside the 20. He's at the 10. Spun out of bounds at the 5-yard line.
Wow.
Jake Albert able to rip off a 38-yard pickup on his second carry tonight.
Yeah, watch Jake follow his blockers. If we get a behind view here, it's going to be great. This will be good. You watch Jake, a nice pitch, gets outside, really pressures the outside linebacker and the defensive end, waits for his blocks to develop. Yeah, Jacob did a great job there.
Eventually pulled down by Connor Hughes.
That's a nice run.
May have saved the touchdown there.
Good. When he made that turn, Nick, he went 100% north-south. And, boy, he hasn't lost any speed. I think he's gained some.
Meanwhile, at the 1-yard line, ball may have come out. Concord saying they've got it.
I think they're going to say
the officials trying to separate the pile.
Yeah, I thought they were going to say his knee was down.
That's the case.
Yeah, it looks like Pinkerton's got it back. So that avoid there a potential big turnover. I thought his knee was down, but they were treating that, Nick, as if it was a fumble.
You spot the football between the 1-yard line and the goal line as we approach the midway point of this first quarter.
I don't know if we got a replay or not, but
not sure if he was down or if the Astros recovered the loose ball. But either way, it's Pinkerton ball here.
Yep.
And now a second down and goal from the 1 yard line. Hersom going to hand inside to the senior Cole Yannico, and he's in the end zone untouched for the touchdown.
Well, when you take a special teams play like they just did, Nick, you have to answer back. That's exactly what the Astros did. So they got, with the kick, they'll have this thing evened up, and that's what you got to do to make that opening drive by the Crimson kind of fade in the past a little bit and start over here. So we may get this may be. No, this is live. I must have missed the replay. I'm sorry.
Craig Coventry on for the extra point. This may have been blocked. No good as it ends up below the crossbar.
Never take it for granted, right?
I think Concord may have gotten a piece of it. No good either way. So the Astros get 6, but still trail here by a score of 7-6 as we get another look at the kick.
Yep. Yeah, that was hit.
That's Hummelzine Perez who made a good play. Got his right hand on the kick.
Here we go. Yep. Actually, that was number 10.
Yeah, Hummelzine Perez.
Yep. What a
got
terrific
in there
job.
And got a piece, as they say. So 7-6. Astros take less than 3 minutes to put their first touchdown on the board and trim Concord's lead to just a point here.
Yeah, that's an intelligent play by him. He, if you break through, and you're stopped and you're held, what you got to do is get up high, hands in the air. You never know, especially the four defenders on the inside. Nick, that was just smart football. So this will be an interesting kickoff to see how Coach O'Reilly responds to what looks like two. We know Bahuma was an outstanding returner.
Yeah, Duncan looked just as impressive.
So I'm wondering if they'll just sort of lay it down on the 20 or 30 here. Yeah, it's exactly what they're going to do.
They're going to angle it to one of the up men, goes off the cage of his face mask, and is eventually recovered at about the 38-yard line. One of those live balls always draws a breath, but in the end, Concord going to bring their offense back onto the field. Pretty good starting field position officially at their own 39-yard line. Not as good as the first possession, which began at the Pinkerton 30.
Well, I mean, if when you've got that kind of talent back there, Nick, I would never kick to him. And that's exactly how Coach O'Reilly adjusted it in this particular situation. I think they're better off.
Well, Pinkerton crowd in the box here. Concord going to throw. Looking for Wells, the tight end. It's incomplete.
He is a big tight end.
Albert in on the coverage. Yeah, only, and I say only in parentheses, listed at 6'2", 250, but looks bigger than that.
He looks bigger than that, Nick. I think a lot of these guys, they grow during the year. Those are usually an initial weight that they put on their rosters. But if you told me he was 265, 270, I'd believe it without even a hitch. It looked to me like the ball sailed just a little bit high. Yeah.
First pass attempt tonight for Doward.
He's got a good arm, though.
Doward under center. It's an inside give, and Pinkerton up to the task. Again, Fioli leading the charge on the stop, which goes for very little, maybe a yard. So 3rd and 9 as we hit the midway point, first quarter. The Pinkerton defense a chance to get the ball back.
Well, it's so much better, Nick, when you can put them inside their 30 or at least their 40 on a run back. When you respect Bahuma to the extent you do, I think that was a smart move on the kickoff. So. That makes it a little more conservative. But when you run a ball all the way back to your opponent's 30-yard line, you're running downhill. So we'll see what happens here with this offensive line.
Doward in trouble, finds Bahuma in the flat, and a great cut and a first down. Bahuma into Astro territory, down inside the 40.
He is strong.
Before it's all said and done.
He's so strong, Nick. I mean, he was getting pulled down by a 180, 200-pound guy right there, and his leg drive just kept on going. Dowd took a shot in the back.
Yeah, barely got it off.
Watch this. That is strength right there.
Able to make a man miss, then break a tackle. And in the end, it's a big first down for Concord on a 3rd and 9.
Watch this shift on Albert. Albert has to take the outside, though. Has to outside shade to contain. There was just nobody else there.
Coming up on 5 minutes first quarter. 1st and 10. Bahuma near side. And lean that left shoulder down inside the 35. Take Fioli, the defender, with him down to about the 34-yard line. A gain of 4. 2nd down and 6. Well, Bahuma Officially 1 catch tonight. Already 5 carries to his credit.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me a little bit of one of my all-time hero running backs, Earl Campbell, in the sense that he runs with power. Then after the ball is on the ground, he just kind of slowly comes back to. But look at this.
Astros bring the blitz, and it works. They meet Bahuma. No, I'm sorry. Good play fake. I thought Bahuma had it. Looked like the fullback. That's Dixon.
That's just good play calling right there.
And Dixon has a first down all the way to the Astro. No, he doesn't. Anyway, what's going on here? They got the ball at the 27. So it looks like it's just shy 3rd and short coming up.
Yeah, see, they faked to Bahuma through the middle. He drew about 4 guys, including 2 linebackers, and that just kind of, leans the field for Dixon to go after the secondary there. That was well done. Zach Doward impresses me in so many elements of his quarterbacking.
Had me fooled for sure. Meanwhile, Doward on 3rd and 1 again calls for the quarterback sneak. And he's got enough to move the chains for Concord as we move inside of 4 minutes now, first quarter.
It feels to me like the temperature just dropped to about 5 or 10 degrees, Nick.
Yeah, it was in the upper 40s at game time, and you're right. It feels a little chillier than that now, just inside or just past the 7 o'clock hour here locally. Full dark.
Down to 41. So it dropped about 7, 8 degrees in short order.
All right, again, it's Bahuma. Going to get the carry left side. Hole closes shut.
Yeah, the Astros are keying on Bahuma, but
going to pick up 4 in the end. Again, tough after contact, Steve. We know how strong he is.
Rugged.
Usually able to get a couple extra yards after that first defender arrives.
Yeah, one of the things I noticed about him, I was talking a little bit earlier, I mean, Earl Campbell's just maybe not quite there yet, but he is powerful. He runs like him with a big, big lowering of the shoulder and shifty at the same time.
Very strong, very fast as well. Here he is again. Trying to find some kind of room there, but no creeks.
Yeah, these are setup plays here, Nick.
Astros swarming to the football right there. Ryan Houle up front, first to arrive. So it looks like a 3rd and 4 coming up here.
Yeah, this is what makes this offense so lethal, Nick, really. You got Bahuma, and he demands so many resources on the defense to be able to cover him. They are selling out for him right now. They're doing a better job holding him to less yardage, but you always are vulnerable, if you will, to the play-action pass, and Dowd does a great job with it. Sending Austin downfield, who's a big target with a big radius.
Let's see what Coach Corcom's got here. They're going to stick with Bahuma on a pitch. Near side, Bahuma tap dancing at the 15. And is going to be stopped, I think, just shy of the first down.
Yeah, interesting call right here. Looks like about 2 yards. Oh,
I think less than a yard here. They're going to place
about
the ball at the 15-yard line. The marker is somewhere between the 15 and the 14, so it looks like half a yard. 4th down on the way. Concord going to keep the offense on the field just inside of now 2 minutes to go in this opening quarter.
Will be an interesting call here.
Crimson trying to add to this 7-6 lead. Again, the chant of defense is heard from the Pinkerton fans.
So far,
there's 3 backs behind Doward. Bahuma, left side run. He's got the first down.
Yep.
Not much, but didn't mean much.
Well, they're running behind that.
2.
They're running Nick behind that left tackle, and he's doing a terrific job on his. Yeah, we're going to see here. Watch the left tackle here. Actually, that might have been the running back coming in. Okay, it looked like the left tackle kind of.
Well, either way, they needed
whatever it was. He got a good block.
Just enough room to pick up a half a yard. They get 2. And keep this drive going. 1st and 10 from the 13. Coming up in the final minute. Bahuma left side, going to dash his way inside the 10 before he spun down at about the 8-yard line.
Yeah, this is a clock-eating drive here. Just a continually pounding. Keeping the defense on the field.
Marco Centino on the tackle.
Boy, he shifts so well. It's taken a lot to bring him down, Nick. You're not going to tackle him alone.
No.
You're going to need support, and that's what makes other plays open up throughout the game, but they haven't had to use him yet.
6-yard pickup for Bahuma. Back to him, right side this time. Going to sneak inside the 5, wrapped up around the waist by Fioli.
It's going to be real close here. He might be a little short by where he's. Yeah, he's going to be a little short.
Going to spot the ball just inside the 5-yard line. It's like with 3rd and 1 here.
Yep.
Well, question is Concord going to get a playoff? We're down to 10 seconds. Doward, a quick snap. Bahuma hit in the backfield.
Big
and
play.
then Concord is going to lose yardage.
Big play. Looked to me, Nick, like they were rushing that play a little bit, and I think what happened, watch this. It's almost like they're trying to get the play off. There's no need to, and Bahuma took a path right into Doward instead of coming through the normal right.
Ryan Catnode.
Yeah.
Cat quick on that one into the backfield for the tackle.
What a
First
terrific
quarter
job.
in the books. Concord a 7-6 lead. Pinkerton's defense trying to come up big when we come back. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
All right, Concord is going to try to add 3 points with a field goal as they bring out Plant, the kicker, from about 28 yards out. It's up and good. As it sneaks just inside the right upright, Jacob Plant, the senior. Got the visiting Concord Crimson Tide up now 10-6 with just 2 seconds gone by in this second quarter. Nick and Astis, Steve Beals with you here. Again, big game.
Wow, that's a
Final game of the regular season for both teams. Final week of the regular season statewide, week number 9. This game with a lot of playoff implications, one way or the other. If the Astros win, Coach O'Reilly's team will host a preliminary round
And
game
if they
this
win
Friday
that,
night. Yep.
we'll
And if
get a
they
home.
win that, they'll get a home game in the quarterfinal round as well. So essentially a berth as a number 4 seed is what Pinkerton can gain here. Concord on the other side can't finish quite that high, but would be in the mix certainly for a home game next week
Yep.
as well.
And depending on the outcome of who they would ultimately face, that'll define
Right.
where they potentially could get a home game, but I don't think it's likely if you go by the percentages.
Either way,
Either way.
a lot of teams with an interest on this game to see where they're going to be matched up next week in the 13-team Division I playoff field.
First quarter really showed us that both offenses right now can move the ball effectively on the opposing defense.
You know, this one is kicked out of bounds. The flag is going to fly. And we are going to get the game's first penalty here,
Yep.
as the first quarter was penalty-free.
It almost looked like he was trying to kick it, outside of the hashes, but that is risky, Nick, because that gives the opposition really good field position there. So,
Well, it gives Coach O'Reilly the option.
yeah.
Either take it at their own 40 or force the other team to re-kick.
Well, he wants Albert to run the ball. That's what he
So
wants.
they're going to back Concord up.
I don't think Albert's
And we're
going to
get another try
Here we-
here.
What?
Now to the illegal procedure.
Yeah, that was either a muff or he got an outside roll. But this, I think what he wants more than anything else is he wants Jake Albert to get a crack at a return kick here, Nick.
Yeah.
And he's got some good kickoff returners there. Even the two in front there.
There's a look at Albert, who, again, was a starter on this club from day one as a freshman. And now as a senior is one of the state's more recognized players.
I got to be honest with you, Nick, he looks tonight like he's got another gear.
Yeah.
When he's turning upfield, his acceleration is as good as I've ever seen it.
2 carries in that first drive for Pinkerton in the first quarter, 52 yards. It's going to be a bounce for Morrison, one of the up men, the sophomore trying to break to the near side. And his gang tackled at about the 40-yard line. So all in all, it looks like the 40-yard line was the destination.
It was just meant
no
to
matter
be.
What. Yep, destined to be. So drive number 2 officially at the 41-yard line will begin here for Pinkerton.
And if you're looking for a little off-field fanfare, the costumes of this band tonight, the creativity that goes into some of these kids, these young people are having a great time. It's great to see. All right, here we go.
1st and 10, Hersom under center. Handoff left side. This is Morrison, and he's not going to get much. Met at the line of scrimmage. That's Wells, the defensive end here on the near side.
Couple yards.
We've mentioned him tonight, of course, the big tight end, and just as good defensively as he shows you there.
Yep.
2-yard pickup on the run for Morrison, 2nd down and 8 coming up for Pinkerton.
Well, we saw him on Keene and then then up in Memorial Field in Concord, I believe it's Memorial Field, against Central, and he did a terrific job at end.
Albert, they give it to him on an end around, trying to find room. He's got the corner, and he's tackled just shy of the 50-yard line. Pick up a 5, maybe 6. Going to set up a 3rd down and 3 from just shy of the Astro 49.
Yeah, these are those break plays. Watch Albert here when he turns upfield. There's not a lot there, but he's able to get a good block out front. Looks like Yannico, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. Closed off by the linebacker, Doug Smith.
Yep.
Senior with a good tackle in pursuit.
I think this is a big play, Nick, in the first half here.
3rd and 3. They go near side. Morrison, plenty of room, gets the corner. He's got the 1st down. Still alive inside the 40 before he's twirled to the turf at about the 36. Another big pickup of 18 yards for Morrison on 3rd and 3.
Yeah, Morrison likes to play the tempo game when he's running off tackle, Nick. Watch him when he comes out. He starts to kind of just stride. Now watch him. He just kind of strides, gets a feel. Look at that. Look at that. Reading it, and then watch him go. Then when he turns upfield, he goes full speed. Boy, he's got a stride.
Tackled by Peyton.
He's only a sophomore.
Hero, yeah.
Wow.
A glimpse of the future for sure.
Yep.
He's been good all season.
Coach O'Reilly's always done that, bringing underclassmen up into the fold.
Here's Yannico. Straight ahead run, maybe 3. Wells around the waist. Credit on the tackle. Also Humelzine Perez, but productive 3-yard pickup there for Yannico. We saw him score on his first carry tonight, a 1-yard touchdown. Of course, son of a former Boston Red Sox. He's also been in the mix for a long time.
Yes, he has.
Didn't start necessarily the first week of his freshman year, but not bad. By the end of that freshman campaign, he was a starter.
Well, this kid
Meanwhile,
looks
here's
good.
Morrison trying to use the sideline. Spun down by the jersey just shy of the 20-yard line. Another 1st down for Pinkerton.
This kid's acceleration is impressive, Nick, off tackle. And you know what it does? It stretches out the field because Albert, will go left or right. But if you got Morrison as a threat in the right, and then you can, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a counter very shortly. That's very much in Coach O'Reilly's repertoire when he sees.
Left side handoff.
Yeah,
good cut. That's Albert this time on his 3rd carry. Inside the 20 before he's met and stopped by Humelzine Perez at about the 16.
Coach O'Reilly said last night on Gridiron, Nick, that he's had time to develop Tim Hersom and the quarterback for Pinkerton, and you can clearly see the comfort level that I saw on video or on film last week, and you can see it here tonight on the field. His handoffs are smoother. He's just very comfortable. He's not playing straight-legged. He's getting the good athletic position.
You're going to hand here to Albert. Left side, inside the 10. Good cut at the 5. Still trying to fight for yardage at about the 3-yard line.
Albert's impressive tonight, Nick. This is the Jake Albert we saw a couple years ago when he was a sophomore, Nick, when he was really healthy. And now to me he's a little faster, a little more rugged, a little more mature. He's got some look at that acceleration through there. He's running well. And they're going to need a healthy Jake Albert if they're going to, as they play in their playoff game, depending on where they wind up. But I got this kid. Morrison looks good.
Astros looking for their first lead. They go to Yanako. Going to plunge his way for the touchdown. It's a 3-yard touchdown. Second of the night for Cole Yanako. First lead of the night for Pinkerton.
Expect 2 here.
And now 12-10 with just over 3 minutes gone by, second quarter. And let's see if Coach O'Reilly wants to kick here or go for 2.
Well, it kind of forces it's a field goal won't tie it. We'll see what they do. My expectation is he'll go for 2 here.
Well,
nope,
looks like they're going to kick.
He's going to kick it.
Wants the 3.
Make me wrong again.
Wants the 3-point lead.
Nothing wrong with being unpredictable.
Concord going to crowd the line. It's a high snap, good hold, and the kick off the right foot
down
of Coventry is good. So,
I don't know, Nick. The way they're running the ball right now, I might have tried for 2, but with a good leg that the Concord kicker has, probably not a bad move to get that 3 ahead.
3-yard touchdown run for Cole Yanako. Extra point for Craig Coventry. And just like that, Pinkerton with a 13-10 lead.
Yep.
Still plenty of time to go in this second quarter. But a little bit of a different dynamic now as Concord set to receive the football trailing now for the first time on the road.
Well, it's great. You got Morrison, you've got Jake Albert, and then you got Yanako for the inside tough yardage. It's been a pretty good trio where he kind of balanced that out. Concord been primarily Bahuma almost every single play, and he doesn't seem to mind in the least to carry that load. One of the things that's impressed me about Bahuma, we saw it even in the Keene game, going way back, Nick, is his stamina. He just never slows down. It just he seems to conserve energy in between plays very, very well, and he's explosive when he gets the ball.
Unofficially tonight, Bahuma 11 carries, 38 yards, 1 catch, 15 yards, all in that first quarter. Coventry's kick is a squib to the 10. This is Bahuma, who's going to go across the 30, break a tackle at the 40, and fight for a few more before finally going down in front of his bench along that far sideline at about the 45-yard line. Good return. Goes for about 35. The first kick return tonight.
Watch Casey Dennis come in here. And you can't tackle him high. Look at high tackle. Watch Casey come in at the end. Bang. But Wallerin did a great job there. He started tackling him high, but he dropped his wrap down a little bit. But
still pretty friendly starting field position.
I'll say
for Concord on drive number 3. Their first drive began at the Pinkerton 30 back in the first quarter. Second drive at their own 41. This one begins at their own 45. Bahuma, not much. Tried to cut it back. Ends up at his own 49 after a gain of 4.
Well, they're spying a lot, Nick. If they're going to run him that much, you've got to stop him and force somebody else to be the success, if possible, for the Concord Crimson. Coach O'Reilly's defensive unit is all about Bahuma right now. But you got to be careful on the other side of things because Zach Dowd can do a lot of other things with his receiving core. Surprised we haven't seen that yet.
Only 1 pass attempt.
Yep.
No, 2. He found Bahuma out of the flat, and now he's going to go to the air for the 3rd time on a rollout off the back leg, looking deep downfield, and a leaping grab.
He's got it.
Made at the 15-yard line.
What a catch.
What a catch is right. I believe that's Dixon. Able to leap over the defender and pull it in. Dixon with a tremendous catch. The pass from Dowd on the money, a big first down for Concord.
I just said I'm surprised we didn't see a pass. Watch Zach Dowd roll out. He's as good as anybody in the business, especially on his right-hand side. Nice fake to Bahuma. Turns it. Looking downfield. He's got the height. Look at that throw. He threw it exactly where he had to. Up high. Come back for the ball.
And then Dixon on the way down, able to pull it in.
Yep.
Big time pickup all the way.
So difficult to defend.
Down to the Pinkerton 16-yard line. So Concord back in the red zone here, looking for the lead. 5 minutes gone by, second quarter.
And a real big shout out to the camera crew. What a terrific job pulling all of that in from all those angles. Great job, guys.
1st and 10. Bahuma with a cut, trying to slice his way down inside the 15. Stood up and dropped at about the 14, a gain of 2.
Well, Pinkerton Nick was able to hold him for the 3. If that begins to become, if they can hold them here and hold them to 3 because they've got a very good kicker.
Yeah.
And then come back and score touchdowns. That so far is the precedent's been set at least once.
Centeno and Houle combining on the stop there.
Good defense in the red zone.
Pinkerton. 2-yard pickup for Bahuma. Meanwhile, coming up on the midway point, second quarter. Concord held leads of 7-0, 7-6, and 13-6.
Timeout.
And now we're going to get the game's first timeout here with 6:14 to go before halftime. Concord going to spend their first timeout. Our broadcast tonight brought to you by Beals Insurance. Locations in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Visit BealsInsurance.com. Also by MG Sports Fundraising. That's fundraising made easy. MG Sports Fundraising is the official fundraising partner of Friday Night Lights New Hampshire. Visit MGSportsFundraising.com. Also by New Hampshire iPhone Repair. It's done while you wait, and it's backed by their lifetime warranty. Now with 6 locations in southern New Hampshire and on the Seacoast, visit NHiPhoneRepair.com. By the New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NHTomahawks.com and also girls.NHTomahawks.com. And finally by Ghost Energy. Ghost is a active sports nutrition brand that empowers users to be seen beyond the walls of the gym. So be seen with Ghost Energy. Concord out of the timeout, going to stick to the ground game. They go near side. This is Dixon going to paddle his way down inside the 5-yard line before he's dropped just shy of the goal line, close to the 1. Dixon had that big electric kickoff return to begin the game. Almost had a touchdown there, stopped by a couple of Astros just shy of the goal line.
Yeah, let's not lose sight of this young man and his impact on this offense tonight. Watch him literally come forward and drive through, shed tacklers, and bring it all the way down to the 2-yard line. Wow.
Morrison ultimately given credit for the stop there. Bahuma, left side run, is into the end zone for the touchdown.
Good offensive surge there on the left side of the line. They really count on that left side, Nick, when they really need a couple yards. They've almost run there exclusively.
1-yard touchdown is second tonight. And that's going to put Concord back on the board and quiet the fans here in Derry, at least for now. 16-13, extra point try on the way.
Just a yo-yo back and forth.
Well, you got to credit Coach Corkum there. I think knew what he wanted coming out of the timeout. And 2 plays later, they're in the end zone.
The play sequencing by Coach Corkum and his offensive squad has just been terrific tonight. Very cerebral, very well thought out, really utilizing, from instead of just hash mark to hash mark, he's using sideline to sideline, Nick, and that's just creates a lot of running for the defense, very tiring to cover, slow, methodical, and consistent drives down the field. And you got these 2 running backs, a good throwing quarterback, and a big receiver, and a court to go with that. That's a pretty good offensive group to sequence those plays with.
Well, Concord got a good kickoff return, set up a short field to begin the game.
You're right. That's a big part of it, the field position.
Elia Bahuma capped off that short touchdown drive with a 4-yard run to put Concord in front 7-0, just over 3 minutes into the game. Pinkerton on their next drive responded well. Big play for Albert, a 37-yard run, set up a short touchdown for Cole Yanako of 1 yard. Extra point try was blocked. Concord held the lead of 7-6. That was our score after 1. 2 seconds into the second quarter, a 28-yard field goal from Jacob Plant extended Concord's lead to 10-6. Pinkerton came back. Cole Yanako, moments ago, a 3-yard touchdown, gave Pinkerton their first lead at 13-10, and then just a moment ago, Bahuma's second touchdown. This one comes from a yard away. He's got Concord back out in front here after the extra point, 17-13. Still just about 6 minutes remaining here until the break. This short kick is high in the sky. He pulled in about the 22-yard line. This is one of the up men for Pinkerton. That's Jackson Collins, the senior, who was eventually dragged down at about the 31-yard line. So that's where the offense will again take the field for Pinkerton, just the third drive of the night.
And make no mistake about it, that kicker of the Concord Crimson has no problem kicking it deep if he wants to, but they are not going to do that and give that ball to Jake Albert. I've always said, Nick, never give special teams kickoff, quality high-end kickoff returners or play breakers, if you will, playmakers, the opportunity to change the game. Just don't give it to them. Give them 10 yards, try to get them inside the 30 or 40.
Both teams have seemingly employed that strategy tonight.
Except for the first kickoff.
Yanako crossed the 40. Although that's just his third carry tonight. Yanako has played well, of course, not just this season, but throughout his career. One of those big, strong, physical running backs that's hard to bring down. He gets credit here for what, about 7 yards. Officials going to change the spot, and now we got to think a timeout or a measurement. Which is it? Yeah, they're going to bring the chains on here, Steve. So Yanako in the end picked up at least 9 and maybe 10 on that.
Little second effort there. You know, while they're taking the measurement, let's not lose sight of what Coach O'Reilly said last night on the development of Tim Hersom, Nick. He has looked excellent tonight. This is not the same quarterback that was starting his second varsity game, if you will, as the full-time starter. He has developed tremendously. His mechanics are better. And isn't it a wonderful thing to see good coaching, bringing players along, and he's a junior, correct, if I'm not mistaken. So
haven't seen him thrown a pass yet tonight, but as you said,
hasn't had to.
Mechanically in this offense, it's more about the handoffs and the fakes than anything else. And you're right, he has looked noticeably better, at least so far in this first half.
Yeah, one of the things you don't like to see a quarterback do is play straight-legged, and I feel that's an area where he's playing lower to the ground on his handoff. He's playing from the athletic position almost exclusively now, and just doing so many things well.
Going to hand here to Albert out of the timeout, and look out. Albert into Concord territory. Tripped up at the Concord 40. A gain of 17 as Albert continues to rip off chunks.
Watch Hersom here sell this fake. Watch. He goes out, fakes the handoff, and look at him. He runs out. That freezes the safeties in the corners a little bit. They have to pay attention to that to make sure that he doesn't have the ball, and that opens up some a little more of the open field for Jake Albert.
Stopped by Turner after a gain of 17. Back to Albert, and he's back to business. Spins his back to the defense, and he's inside the 30 for an 11-yard pickup before it's all said and done. Albert, Steve, quickly approaching the century mark here in this first half.
Yeah, he's ripped off some big yardage, Nick, and he follows his block so well. He's one of those guys, he kind of runs that banana off tackle where he kind of curves it around, waits for the right time, and boy, when he goes, he accelerates. Both he and Morrison and Yanako for their specific roles in the game tonight so far have done a great job on the offensive side.
I've got Albert, 6 carries, 94 yards. Here's number 7. Going to be tripped up in the hole and somersault his way down to about the 25.
But when he can use Yanako, like I said, as I said, for the tough yardage, and Morrison to help assist Jake Albert so he doesn't have to run it every time and bang off the yardage, he speaks volumes about the offensive line. Look at that 50 coming downfield. Good blocking. Good job. These offensive lines are both sides of the ball, Nick, I've been watching tonight, are winning the majority of the individual battles. So
inside of 4 minutes. Second down and 6. Albert the wing to the near side. Put in motion. They're going to flag. Pinkerton, I think here, maybe a false start. That's indeed the case. First penalty against either offense.
Yeah.
Tonight, only the second penalty overall. We saw a kickoff.
Yeah, and that's
kicked out of bounds earlier. Procedural penalty.
I guess that's a penalty. It is.
It is, but
when you look at the
offense versus defense, that's the first.
That's the first one.
Flag tonight.
Yep.
It's going to cost the Astros 5.
I didn't see who moved there, Nick. Do you? I didn't see. It looked to me like it might have been the backfield. I don't know.
Second down, 11.
Yeah, they got Jake Albert out in the wing now.
Clock continuing to tick. Going to go with Albert again. Looked like the same play, and there he goes around the corner. Inside the 20. Tackled at about the 15. Again, a flag, though.
That's usually
is down.
holding area
Yeah,
down
back
there.
at about
Watch.
the
Let's see if we can-
26. The far side of the field where he turned the corner.
I think it was further back. Well, I don't know.
Not sure if we could see it there, but
It'll be interesting to see what this call is, because if it's that little scrum right there, that would seem to me as it would be.
it is officially a hold against Pinkerton.
Yeah, it's Pinkerton, yeah. But maybe that wasn't it. But it did look like there might have been a clutch and the grab earlier in the play.
A couple of boos now
Yeah.
from the home fans.
Yeah, these penalties hurt because they slow down the drive. They take away that synchrony, if you will, that's
kills
going.
any momentum that Pinkerton had been building.
Yeah.
Albert, meanwhile, comes to the sideline having a word with Coach O'Reilly.
Yeah.
So now, football back at their own 36-yard line, just inside of 3 minutes. Morrison planted by Wells at the line of scrimmage
Yeah.
and dropped.
He does such a great job. Watch how he contains at the same time he's collapsing the gap, Nick, or the C gap, the off-tackle spot hole. Watch this. Watch how he contains, right? And then he pushes everything inside, sheds the blocker, who's
And then
not
makes a tackle.
and
Yeah,
then makes a tackle. He's just.
He's been impressive.
Yeah.
We've heard about him for a while. We've seen what he can do firsthand. Played well when we were on the scene out in Keene, the win over Central. And so far has shown up both ways again tonight for Concord.
Well, I love to teach I used to teach the defensive ends, Nick.
Third and
gotta
17. Pinkerton going to go to the air for the first time. Hersom has got a man downfield, and this one is caught. They're going to say it's a catch at the 2-yard line. Pulled in on his way to the ground by Ben Wolthers, the 6'2 junior. Lost his footing, kept his eye on the ball.
We're going to get a good view here.
And it's ruled a catch at the 2-yard line.
We're going to see it. It looked like he pulled it down, but it almost took forever to get there.
Couldn't see with the official in the way on that angle.
I didn't see any ball that looked like. Here we go.
Not sure if it hit the turf or
not. Well, you're going to see it here.
Again, the officials rule it a catch. Werther's on his way to the ground.
Yeah, I think he got
it there either.
Yeah, there's nothing to overturn
There's nothing
there.
to overturn it from our
from
two
our
angles.
angle.
Of course, you can't overturn it anyway.
Yeah.
It's a touchdown. They go on the ground.
I was going to call into New York.
It's Yanako with the hat trick, his third touchdown.
Boy, answer, huh?
Third lead change of the second quarter. Comes with 1:28 remaining until halftime. Yanako. Touchdowns now of 1, 2, and 3 yards in this first half.
We'll see if they go for 2 this time, Nick. Looks like some of the players are.
I think they're okay with the 3-point lead. And they're going to send the kicker back on.
Yep.
So the big pass from Hersom, his first pass attempt tonight. Complete to Werther, sets up a 2-yard touchdown run for Yanako.
Nice kick.
And now the extra point is good as well from Coventry.
So there's that 3-point seesaw back and forth. Both of these offenses almost, I think we only had one stop.
Haven't had a stop yet.
Yeah.
No, I haven't had a stop yet.
No, it was a field goal. Right. It just wasn't a touchdown.
Right. Pinkerton, 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns in this first half. Concord, 3 possessions, 2 touchdowns, and a 28-yard field goal to open up this second quarter.
So Tim
Concord,
Hersom,
by the way, is going to have to kick to begin the second half. So
Yep.
I'm sure Coach Corcom's got his eye on this clock, which reads 1:28 remaining.
on this drive, absolutely.
Full house tonight here in Derry. A lot of red and white on the near side, although Concord, they've brought a lot of folks in their own right across the way, filling up most of that bleacher on the far sideline. A drive of what? About 45 minutes, 40 minutes maybe from Concord to Derry.
Well, without traffic, you might be able to do even a little better, but
Yeah,
that'd be smoking
I'm
pretty.
just being conservative.
You are. You're thinking about saving gas, right?
I can make it in probably 25. But this one handled by Dixon off the third hop. Goes middle, comes back near side, and with one man to beat is wrestled down at midfield.
You got a minute something left, Nick. That's exactly what you want, is get to the 50-yard line And
Landon McKiernan may have saved the touchdown.
Yeah, I think he did.
On the tackle there for Pinkerton. Dixon, we saw the big kickoff return to begin the game. This one almost as good.
I wouldn't kick it to either one of them again.
Gets out to midfield.
Yeah,
Concord still with time. They've got 2 timeouts to work with here and 1:20 remaining on the clock.
Good run. Boy, he's impressive returning kicks, Nick.
Yeah. 1st and 10. Doward tonight 2 for 3 through the air for Concord. 3-step drop and a break left. Eyes still downfield. Lets it fly. Looking for Wells down the seam. It won't happen. Incomplete.
That's what I look for in a quarterback, Nick. That's what I look for in a. I don't know if it. Yeah, that's better. A little headphone issue
overthrown there.
Still do.
As Wells tried to make up some ground, but you see the arm strength of the senior.
Yep.
Spoke with him earlier this season. Told us he plans to attend the University of Central Florida. And likely done with football after this season here with Concord. But boy, oh boy, a fun player to watch. Going to go back to the air here on 2nd down. Pass tipped and incomplete. Well, the defensive line for Pinkerton active on that one. And it's Jackson Collins who gets the hand on it. As Doward throwing right side. 2 players in the air there defensively for Pinkerton. Collins, again, gets a piece of the football. May have gotten it with the helmet.
That's smart football right there.
3rd and 10 for Concord. 1:08 to go, 2nd quarter. 3rd straight pass. Doward hit as he throws. Far side, dropped, incomplete. Would have been shy of the 1st down marker anyway. That's Matt O'Rourke, senior, upset with himself.
Yeah, well,
after he drops the pass, 3rd and 10 becomes 4th and 10, and now Concord looks like they want to punt.
There's something going on here with the defense here. You got to give Pinkerton. This is the first time that we've seen the defense kind of harass the quarterback, Nick, and get inside, and they're doing a good job here. They know they're getting the ball in the second half. It's a big defensive stand right there.
Here's Plant. He's the kicker as well as the punter. And he stands at his own 37-yard line. A good snap and a good punt. High into the October sky. Fair catch called for and made by Albert inside his own 20 at the Pinkerton 19-yard line. So less than a minute remaining. Home team's got the football again. They got a 3-point lead. They're scheduled to receive the second half kickoff. How aggressive is Coach O'Reilly here, Steve?
I'd be very surprised if he isn't looking at this game right now, knowing that 7 points were scored at the opening, Nick, essentially coming all the way down to the 30-yard line. So, and now here he is with a 20-17 lead, Nick. I'd be surprised if he does anything downtown. I think he'll just run the clock out, and I'll take the football and a kickoff in the second half.
Going to go to Albert around the corner. Going to use the short side of the field, step out of bounds, stop the clock here.
There.
Just inside of 53 seconds.
Yeah, he's going to give himself a few opportunities. What do we got, 50 you said? 52 seconds?
Yep.
Yeah.
5-yard pickup for Albert, 2nd and 5 on the way.
I'd be surprised if you – what I'm saying is I'm surprised if you see Hersom going downfield, take any chances there. They might. I don't know. But when you get in the ball in the second half and, you're in a situation where you wind up
receiving the football.
You don't want to
give it away.
Take it.
We know that. Albert going to follow a man across the 30, break one to the 40.
And out of bounds.
Ushered out of bounds by Turner at about the 43-yard line. Another big play for Albert. 24 to the 43. That's 19 yards. And he is starting to run a little wild here in this first half for Pinkerton.
Let me tell you, number 50, Lynch, is playing himself one heck of a game on offensive line. He comes around the corner and people back up, and I don't blame him. But his work and the paths that he's taking, the blocking paths that he's taking, and the aggressiveness at which he's playing is incredible.
Yanonico, inside give, turns into a big play for Pinkerton.
Yeah, he's going to call a timeout here.
A gain of 23, longest run of the night for the senior Cole Yannico. Timeout comes from Coach O'Reilly with 41 seconds remaining here. 41.5.
Nice run by Yannico. Wow, that was impressive, Nick. Yep.
Had a big hole. And hit it hard.
But he's done this conservatively, Nick. He hasn't put the ball in the air. He's taken what is there, and this offensive line is just taking control of this drive right now and doing a fabulous job. They get it out. I would say if I look at the kicker's range, inside 35 yards is probably a fair possibility. So probably wants to get down about the 17, 18-yard line, Nick, to have a fair chance at the range that I saw.
No real win tonight.
No.
Coming up at halftime, the Pinkerton Academy Marching Band will bring part of that performance to you live here on Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire. You see them in full costume, waiting their turn in the back corner of the end zone.
According to
come onto the field here and perform at halftime. Plus, we'll look back at the first half, full recap, stats, highlights, analysis, a look at the Week 9 scoreboard statewide as well. That all comes up at halftime.
I would imagine Coach O'Reilly is telling these guys, look, if we're going to run it outside, you got to get out of bounds to stop the clock. I don't have them having any timeouts, Nick. I thought that actually probably one. I know they've taken.
I think they have either one or two.
We'll find
left.
out.
We'll find out is right. Albert, meanwhile, a stretch run is going to be flagged.
Yeah, that's two men in motion at the same time.
And the referee going to throw the flag himself.
Well, I think Yannico was going at the same time. If we get a replay of this, you'll see you got Jake Albert in motion. Yannico just took a quick step. We're going to see it right here. Maybe
the third penalty the second quarter against Pinkerton.
Watch Yannico. Yeah, see, he started early and they got him with Albert in motion. 2 men in motion.
So that's the second of that variety.
Yeah, but that's an aggression penalty. I don't like him, but I'm okay with him because that means Yannico, he's trying to get out there and get his job done.
Right?
He's chomping at the bit, but you got to stay down. But
all right, so the ball is backed up to the Crimson 37-yard line. 35 seconds remain. And we've got a 1st and 15 here facing the Astros.
Yep.
Hersom, after a direct word with Coach O'Reilly, is going to jog back into the home huddle. And now the Astros seem ready to go. Neither team has turned the football over tonight. Hersom, I think I just jinxed him. Yep. Dropped the ball, recovers. That's going to cost the Astros a few more yards. Now another timeout from the home sideline, stops the clock with 30 seconds.
Something's gotten kind of sloppy here the last guy. It was sharp as attack before this, and all of a sudden, look at it, just
a couple of penalties. Well, one penalty.
Yep.
Kind of derailed the momentum, and then an avoidable mistake there on the faulty handoff. Fortunate response for Pinkerton. They're able to fall on it, but face a 2nd and 20 now coming up from the Concord 42. Well, again, both teams 6-2. Astros started off hot, 3-0. Ran into Londonderry, caught their first loss in Week 4, and then seemingly were rolling into Week 7, challenging themselves, renewing an out-of-state rivalry with Brockton, getting involved in a shootout with the Boxers, but catching an out-of-state loss. They respond well last week with a win at Manchester Central. And tonight, playing here with a 3-point lead and looking for more. Out of the timeout, Albert near side, inside the 20.
He's got a first down.
And down to the 15-yard line. Clock at a stop for the moment with just over 21 seconds while they move the chains.
Plenty of time.
Tackle there for Enos Peralt of Concord. Chains are ready. Clock is running. 18 and counting. Hersom is going to spike it.
Nice job by Tim.
The incompletion will stop the clock with inside of 16 seconds.
That's what you look for your quarterback, is take control of the game. Make sure everybody is set so you don't get a penalty. He did a good job there. One of the benefits there is it was a long way for the first down team to get down, so they had a nice break in between there to get set.
Albert continuing to rip off yards in chunks. The latest, another 27-yard pickup.
He did a great job following his blocks there.
I've got him close to 150.
He's got to, Nick. He's got to.
We're going to tally everything up at halftime. Bahuma has been has been kind of on the sidelines here in the second quarter for Concord. Yanako, meanwhile, has got his 4th touchdown of the first half.
Coach O'Reilly coming back, pacing back, very pleased with that offensive drive. Other than the couple of, the drop ball on the handoff, and the fake handoff there, and the penalty. But boy, they came roaring back. This offensive line has done a fabulous job, Nick, getting off the ball. Concord a little bit, get the hands on the hips right now. They've been on the field for a long time, this defense. Yanako comes in. What a great shot, John. Super job.
Yanako's 4th touchdown of the first half from 1 yard, 2 yards, 3 yards, and now 15 yards out. Another high snap, another good hold, another good kick hold for Coventry. That's Ezra Alvarez, the 5'8 junior on the hold, who's bailed out a couple of high snaps. But Coventry is a perfect it's 3 for 4. Had the first one blocked. 27-17, largest lead either way. Now a 2-score advantage on the board for Pinkerton.
What a great job. Number 60, Day. Nice. I believe it was him with a nice down block. We'll figure it out here. No, number 70. Look at number 70 get position. Wow. This offensive line knows, very technically sound, Nick, doing a great job. And Yanako, the beneficiary of that, as well as his team of the Pinkerton Astros. That was an impressive ground drive led by Jake Albert, Nick. But, again, I give a lot of credit to that offensive front that's done a terrific job all game, Nick. I don't think there's been one time they haven't scored, right? If I'm not mistaken, I don't think there's a possession.
4 touchdowns on 4 drives.
Yes, there you go. So
Concord, 2 touchdowns, a field goal, and a punt.
Concord,
13 seconds remaining. Concord not going to have much time to add to their total before halftime. Say that.
Yep, I agree.
They'll, of course, have to kick off to begin the third quarter.
Yeah, so it wasn't a drive where you throw the ball downfield, take high risk, and then wind up with 1:30 still on the clock to for the opposition to give it to Bahoma. You've ground the clock down to 15 seconds. So, and Pinkerton's going to get the ball back. So I could see the delight of Coach O'Reilly on the sidelines, knowing that that's kind of one of those touchdowns that you're going to remember mid part of the game, which has created a 10-point, kind of broke that 3-point advantage, and then you're going to get the ball. Pinkerton, for at least right now, and looking like they're in pretty good position as they approach the second half. But a whole half to play, and when you got Dowd and Bahoma on your offensive squad. But I will say that the defense started with Concord looked a little fatigued there, Nick. They were just...
Yeah, you mentioned it. Pinkerton really had the advantage in this second quarter.
Yeah.
In terms of time of possession, but...
I'll bet you it's 2-1 in the second quarter.
Astros have now put up 14 unanswered points. All right. So the timeout allows both special teams an opportunity to coordinate. Concord going to bring their unit up a few yards for the short kick from Coventry. They take an awkward bounce, and it's a live football.
Yeah, Concord's
Pinkerton
got it.
Says they have it.
I don't think so.
The officials have not made a ruling yet, trying to figure out the pile. The Astros have the football physically, but...
I think Concord had it. I think you'll see here in the replay that Concord was able to fall on. I don't know what happened after the whistle.
The officials say Concord football.
Yeah, let's see. I believe he fell on it, and then after the whistle it came out, so it bounced out. Concord's on it right there.
That was the up man, Jamari Arzu.
Yeah, I think number 50.
Watch number 50
here.
Tough bounce.
I think he's the one that recovered it. Number 50. You're going to see, he's right there.
It's up in his legs.
Wow, that was on his legs. I don't know. Wow.
Concord's got it. Bahoma with a carry left side, hit up around the shoulder pads, shakes off a man, and is going to rip off another 5 or 6 more. Across the 40, up to the 44, but that's going to run out the clock. And that's going to do it. The 8-yard pickup is the final play of this second quarter. So, Pinkerton, after trailing to begin the second quarter, they come up with 3 touchdowns over the final 12 minutes of that first half. And they've got the largest lead on the board either way tonight, 27-17 at halftime over Concord.
Yeah, you look for this game, seesaw 3 points, 3 points, 3 points, 4 points, 3, and then all of a sudden, this last few minutes here where that drive has created that distance for Pinkerton of 10 points they can work with, as we talked about a couple times earlier, and going to receive the ball in the second half. So stopping this offensive drive, if you're Concord, is going to be critical for them because you get into a situation where Pinkerton can even get a field goal or not.
Nine scores begin to roll in. All that coming up in just a moment. Halftime here in Derry. Pinkerton leading Concord 27-17. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
Hey, I'm Chad, the owner of New Hampshire iPhone Repair. We're New Hampshire's most trusted and affordable repair shop for your iPhone, iPad, iPod, and even Android needs. Don't worry, we're affordable, reliable, and we back our parts with a lifetime warranty. And you know what the best part is? No, what? We can repair your phone while you wait.
I know, that's why I'm here.
Oh, I know, Mrs. Green. Here's your iPad, good as new. Bring your phone into New Hampshire iPhone Repair today.
I'm Travis Kelsey, and this is Zen Water. The perfect alkaline water for sports hydration and the only water that's in a bottle that prevents ocean pollution. Ultra pure alkaline water in a bottle that prevents ocean pollution. Why would you drink anything else? Seriously, why would you drink anything else?
The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited, Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school, varsity, and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com. How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include tickets and discount cards to hundreds of local businesses. MG Sports now has a digital platform where athletes can raise funds in the comfort and safety of their own home. Don't waste another season. Raise more funds than ever before and become another football program in New Hampshire that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com to start raising money for your team today.
All right, halftime here in Derry. Pinkerton leading Concord 27-17. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals with you. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week. Presented by Beals Insurance. Both teams 6-2 coming in. Both teams a chance to host a playoff game next week with a win. And the rest of the state basically holding their breath, waiting for the result here tonight, because this one is going to affect the playoff seedings one way or the other. Concord got a good kickoff return to begin the football game from Devon Duncan. Set up a short field at the Pinkerton 30-yard line. A few plays later, Ilya Bahuma scores for the first time tonight. 4-yard touchdown, extra point was good. 7-0 Concord, just over 3 minutes gone by in the first quarter. Pinkerton able to answer on that first drive. Big rip from Jacob Albert. Eventually it's Cole Yanako from just a yard out. 1 of 4 touchdowns in that first half for the senior Yanako. Extra point was blocked by Concord. 7-6 Crimson at that point, and that was our score at the end of the first quarter. Second quarter began with a 28-yard field goal at the right foot of Jacob Plant. Senior for Concord made it 10-6 Crimson at that point. But Pinkerton on their second drive, again, not to be stopped. Combination of the sophomore Morrison, Albert, and Yanako, resulting in a 3-yard touchdown from Yanako. Gave Pinkerton their first lead about 4 minutes into the second quarter, 13-10. Concord, another answer. Bahuma, 1-yard touchdown. The junior, 2 touchdowns in that first half. Crimson, about midway through the second quarter, retook the lead 17-13. But then the last 2 touchdowns belonged to Pinkerton. They both belonged to Yanako. A 2-yard run and then a 15-yard run following a Concord punt. And Pinkerton has the last word, so to speak, before halftime. 27-17. Astros, Steve, are set to receive to begin this second half as well. So Concord clearly with their work cut out for them, as the defense has not been able to find an answer to the Pinkerton ground game tonight.
I haven't been able to find an answer to get a water. I waited in line, Nick, and for gosh knows how long, it was quite a there's a lot of people here tonight.
That's what I mean.
Absolutely, Nick. You know, as far as that half is concerned, you know, it looked like very early in the first quarter that Concord had a little bit of the edge kind of working in their favor, you know, with Bahuma just racking up yardage. But Jacob Albert and his offensive line and Morrison and some good work, good quarterback work by Tim Hurst, and some good play calling, I think, going after the edge on the defense outside of the pair of defensive ends. They did a good job. The blocking by Pinkerton, I thought, kind of began to take over the game towards the end of the first quarter. The second quarter, to me, was almost all Pinkerton. And to extend that touchdown in the very end of the first half there, Nick, is very difficult when you're away. You could see that they had the defense of the Crimson on the field for a long time in that second quarter. You know, hopefully with a little bit of rest, if you're a Crimson fan, that they'll be able to sustain themselves, you know, get their win back, if you will, in the second half. But they're going to have to stop this Pinkerton offense in the opening kickoff.
Yeah, we know that both teams can put up points. It's bearing out here with a combined 44 in the first half. Any major adjustments that either head coach can really make here, or is this kind of what we expect to see again in the second half as both teams look for some kind of an edge here?
If I was looking at Concord, I think you've got to allow Zach Dowd to get his talents into the game a little bit more than they did in the first half, Nick. It was Bahuma, and you know, when Zach finally got a chance to roll out on that strong side, his strong side, he's lethal. And I thought, you know, he completed a long pass, drove them downfield. You get to the point where they started putting a lot of resources on Bahuma. I think that Concord's got to spread out the wealth a little bit, maybe hit Austin a couple times coming across, whatever. But I think they've got to get him, get somebody besides Bahuma in the game to make Bahuma even, as strong as he possibly can be. As far as Pinkerton is concerned, that offensive line, if they're going to control the game like that, Coach O'Reilly has no problem burning up the clock, and I think that's what he's got to go after in the second half. And the other thing is, I would not, in any way, shape, or form, kick that ball on kickoffs to Bahuma or anybody in that deep kickoff return position.
Both teams really have dangerous return men, as we've seen time and time again this season, and both head coaches, I think, are conscious of that. Some of the unofficial numbers, Steve, from that first half: Bahuma for Concord, 14 carries, 49 yards, a couple of touchdowns, one catch for 15 yards. Jake Albert, 10 carries, 150 yards on the nose. And, of course, Cole Yanako, 4 touchdowns for Pinkerton, all 4 for the home team so far.
Yeah, I think when you look at, other than the offensive line work, which I always look at both sides of the field, going back to Concord just for a quick sec, Nick, I think that Coach Corcoran did a good job calling plays. There was just, to me, some opportunities downfield to test, to allow Zach Dowd to be at his best. But let's not forget Morrison and to your point, Yannico, to their contributions to spread out the wealth, of which you will. And then, to me, as I said a couple times, I think Jake Albert's got a gear that's as good as I've ever seen him run the ball, and he's always been good.
Albert missed some time at the end of last year, his junior year. Yep. And, again, kind of had a big statement in game 1 this year. 3 touchdowns against Wyndham.
Yep.
In week number 1, a game in which the Astros fought off a Jaguar comeback in the second half.
Yep.
So Albert has had
looks like already to go.
As good of a season as I think any Pinkerton fan could expect.
But the implications and the seriousness of the significance of the win, coming out of here, the win is very important for both teams.
Short kick from Plant. We're underway third quarter. Handled without an issue by one of the up men, that's Collins. It's going to be up across the 35 to about the 37, and that's where the Astros will begin. Led by junior quarterback Tim Hersom. Just one pass attempt in that first half for Hersom, 1 completion. Came on a 3rd and long, and it set up a short touchdown for Pinkerton a moment later. But Hersom, mechanically, Steve, to your point, has looked very good and very much improved from early in the season when we saw him last in week 4 in the loss at Londonderry.
Well, I think Coach O'Reilly and his offensive coaching unit have done a great job with him. He is much more comfortable, and I would, what you look for is progression, and we've seen that. We've seen a big difference.
It's been apparent. Morrison on a stretch following the lead block from Yanako. First down and into Concord territory at the 45-yard line. Pick up a 15 before Wells ends up tackling him.
Watch the lead blocking here. Look at the sprints out to get an edge. Look at Yanako. Look at
Warther's out there.
Warther's out there with wide receiver blocking. I mean, this team believes in blocking, as both of these teams do, and they're just laying themselves out for their runners, and it's having an impact.
Coming around the corner, full speed. Seen that a few times
untouched,
tonight. And we see it there for a gain of 15 for Morrison. 1st and 10 from the Concord 45. Albert left side. Albert with room. Albert a first down. And into the arms eventually of Turner after a 13-yard pickup for the senior. He's over 160 on the night.
I don't know if this was a scouting thing or not, but Coach O'Reilly is exploiting the off tackle. I don't know if that's because of the assets that he has on his own team or an opportunity that he saw as a potential advantage that he might have against the Crimson, Nick, but it's working almost continuously every play.
First minute in the books here, third quarter. Back to Albert. This time it's a loss.
Jeez, I spoke
First
too soon.
time he gets caught in the backfield.
Nice play.
Concord's Nate Faudner, 5'7", 260-pound senior defensive lineman, waiting there at the edge.
Watch the effort that he puts in here to shed the blocker and get vision. Watch this. You're going to see it right here. Look at that effort. coming through. A big man like that with that kind of speed, chasing Jake Albert behind. But a lot of it was a holdup by 34 and 5 that they were able to block off that off tackle, and he was able to come backside and make the tackle. So nice job there by the defensive Crimson.
Loss of 2. Hersom going to sneak out of the pocket with the football, fire a strike to Yanako. Catch made inside the 20. He's down inside the 15.
Yeah, this is
Hersom, play action rollout, now 2 for 2.
This is not the offensive line, nor is it the quarterback that we saw many weeks ago against Londonderry. And remember, this Concord team went toe-to-toe with Londonderry for almost 3 quarters. So
correct.
There is Londonderry is the number 1 team rated right now for a good reason. But Concord played them hard. So this offense has really come together. We knew that anyway from previous games.
They have not been stopped tonight.
Not once. Yeah.
4 touchdowns, 4 possessions in that first half. And they're back to business here on the first trip of the third quarter. They're down to the 11 as Albert's body slammed here on the near side after only a gain of 1.
Number 77 bringing it.
Yeah,
looks like Nathan Fodner.
That's again Fodner had just made the stop a moment ago. It's another tackle.
They are he like an oak tree that can move. Look at that. Look at that lateral movement in the line. Great job. Well, he's got some speed for a big man like that.
Inside give. Yanako, not much. Ball comes out at the end, but Yanako is down first. Theodore Schneebel, sophomore, has played well on both sides tonight for Concord, giving credit for the tackle there. Just over 3 minutes gone by third quarter.
Big third down here.
Astros knocking on the door here. It's going to be a 3rd down and 7 from the 9-yard line.
Yeah, if Concord can hold them to 3 and then come back, with some...
Keep it a 2-score game.
Keep it a 2-score game. The second half is still alive for them, but another touchdown is going to make it a 3-score. So
pitch to Albert left side. Tries to make the cut, but is dropped well shy of the first down.
Coach O'Reilly's got himself a decision. Looks like he's going to bring in the kicking unit.
Stopped at the 6-yard line. It's Noah Blake.
So that is
defensive lineman on the tackle, and that's big.
That's a big stop by the Crimson.
Yep.
Nice job by their defense.
First time they've held Pinkerton out of the end zone. Although we don't want to speak too soon. Still a 4th and 4 coming from the 6. Now with just over 4 minutes gone by, it does appear like Pinkerton's going to add or try to add 3 points here to their third quarter lead.
Certainly within his range.
That's Coventry. It's a bad snap, though. It's picked up near side. Rolling with it is the holder, Ezra Alvarez, and he's dropped for a loss.
Yeah, that's a big defensive stand. That is going to motivate Concord's defense, and they're going to take the ball over with no damage done. They ran the ball down into the red zone almost with command and ease, Nick. And a
little bit of a low snap, a bobble handle, and then Alvarez runs out of room as Schneebel eats him up on the near side. So Concord with the stop stays a 10-point game. Pinkerton does take nearly 4.5 minutes off the clock, but Concord okay with that as the offense back onto the field, trailing by just 10, 27-17.
Yeah, this is a big point in the game here.
From their own 13, it's also the worst starting field position tonight for either team. Inside give. This is Duncan, and look at the speed. Duncan down the middle. Foot race. Albert going to catch him from behind, just shy of the 25-yard line. Wow. Duncan with the longest play from scrimmage tonight for Concord. A big galloping burst.
Wow.
66 unofficially on the pickup. Duncan, who began the game in electric fashion with a kickoff that set up a short field for Concord, helps his team again with that long run from scrimmage. Now back to Bahuma, his first carry of this second half. He's going to go down inside the 25. Flag is going to fly late as Bahuma pushes the pile all the way inside the 20-yard line.
Yeah, it looks... I don't know if you can hear me, and I think my audio's out, but
Well, keep going, Steve. We'll just have to play injured, so to speak. Meanwhile, again, a flag came in after Bahuma was stood up. And it's going to be a hold against Concord. That's the first penalty tonight against the Crimson offense. So they had a penalty on special teams, a procedure penalty when the kickoff went out of bounds, but that's been it. And now the hold is going to again back up Concord.
That's a significant penalty there.
Yeah, to the 37-yard line. So it looks like a 1st and 19 coming up here?
Yep. Significant turn of events in the game. This game is
haven't been many penalties tonight, but they've been impactful and
very
somewhat momentum killing. Swing pass, Bahuma.
Nice
trying
job
to get back
defending
down
him.
Inside the 35, but no further. Fioli able to wrestle him down. Only a gain of 2 in the end.
Yeah, if you see this and look at this on the outside, look at everybody swarming. They're really using him extremely heavy, Nick, and for the most part, it's paid off for Pinkerton to, and I don't really see anything that's being called outside of Bahuma to really to make them pay for it, and it's paying off for Pinkerton here. You got some great athletes here on this, some great offensive weapons. There you go.
Here's Dixon trying to find his way inside the 30. Not much. Morrison with a swing him to the turf down to the 29-yard line. Now inside of the 6-minute mark here. And it looks like a 3rd down on the way.
Yeah,
3rd down and 12 here. Ball just outside the original line of scrimmage.
Nice job chasing that counter down. I like the call.
Doward may have to go back to the air here. Pinkerton going to bring the kitchen sink. Doward trying to get out of the pocket. Is dropped. After only a 2-yard
with a lot
pickup.
of passion, Nick, on defense. A lot of team speed, a lot of swarm.
Casey Dennis
to the ball.
Looks like a blitz, able to come in there and eventually bring Doward to the ground. So now a 4th down and 11 officially as we move inside of 5 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Concord going to go for it, as this would be quite the kick. It'd be about a 45-yard attempt. We did see Plant connect from 28 back in the 2nd quarter.
Still very much alive here without Pinkerton scoring and stopping that drive.
Meanwhile, we got a whistle here and a timeout. Concord going to use the first timeout of this second half. Our broadcast tonight brought to you by Beals Insurance. Locations in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Visit BealsInsurance.com. Also by MG Sports Fundraising. That's fundraising made easy. MG Sports Fundraising is the official fundraising partner of Friday Night Lights New Hampshire. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com. Start raising money for your team today. Also by New Hampshire iPhone Repair. It's done while you wait. It's backed by their lifetime warranty. Now with 6 locations in southern New Hampshire and on the seacoast. Visit NHiPhoneRepair.com. Also by the New Hampshire Tomahawks. Showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NHTomahawks.com and also girls.NHTomahawks.com. And finally by Ghost Energy. Ghost is an active sports nutrition brand that empowers users to be seen beyond the walls of the gym. So be seen with Ghost. Meanwhile, Doward out of the timeout, finds a man. Far side, that's Isaiah Turner. Catch made along the sideline. He's down just outside the 10-yard line. And Concord going to go to the air on 4th down and move the sticks.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about with utilizing Doward's arm and some of the assets that he has out there to throw to.
First catch tonight for Turner.
That was a dart.
On 4th and 11, they move the sticks. 1st and 10 from the 12. Concord trying to make it a 1-score game again. They go inside to Bahuma, sheds 1 tackler, and again pushes the pile down close to the 5-yard line. Maybe the 6 in the end before he's gang tackled. Pinkerton's Collins in the mix again. Inside and out, 4 minutes to go, third quarter.
Yeah, as good offensive surge there downfield by the offensive line of Concord, Nick. They and Bahoma riding behind and just driving his own legs and got an extra 4 or 5 yards there.
Yeah, it goes for 6 in the end. Set up 2nd and 4. Just outside the 5. Handoff. Bahoma tries to cut it up in the middle. Inside the 3, down to the 2.
Yeah, he fights hard for yardage.
And stopped just about right there at the 2-yard line. So Bahoma had nearly 50 yards in that first half. Adds a couple more to his total. And again, Concord, they could still pick up a first down here. Clock, though, continuing to tick. Third down and 1, maybe less than a yard. They're going to whistle here and blow this dead. And a timeout is going to be awarded here, I believe, to Concord just before the snap. So another timeout called by Coach Corkum. That's the second of the drive. It leaves Concord with just 1 remaining. But something apparently didn't look quite right to Coach Corkum. Going to use the timeout. Meanwhile, some other scores tonight from around the state. Portsmouth leading Timberlane 7-0 at halftime. Owls have already clinched the Division I East Championship, but Portsmouth nonetheless a 7-0 lead over the Owls at halftime. Winnicott and Spalding, a 1-point game there early in the fourth quarter. Warriors with a 1-point edge, 14-13 over the Red Raiders. Londonderry, no problem tonight with Salem, 41-0 at halftime. Exeter on top of Memorial, 17-7 at halftime. Crusaders trying to sneak in to the playoffs. And Merrimack leading Bedford, 9-7 at halftime. That one to watch as we move forward throughout the night. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals with you. Pinkerton, a 10-point lead at halftime, trying to keep it that way here with now less than 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. A pitch to Bahoma, trying to cut, met at the line of scrimmage, and is not going to go any further. The 3rd and 1 turns into 4th and 1 as Pinkerton swarms to the football. Another big stop. Ryan Catno in the mix there. And this one's going to be close. The officials may want to measure this here. And they are going to call for the chain gang to come onto the field. Tough for us to tell.
Yeah, looks pretty close.
Tough for us really to tell up here. It's going to depend on the spot and ultimately the measurement. So the chain gang on the way. Well, again, Concord got out to the start they wanted tonight. Had a 7-0 lead on the board after a 4-yard touchdown from Elia Bahoma. Pinkerton, on their first possession tonight, went down the field and got a 1-yard plunge from Cole Yanako, 7-6.
Looks like it's a little
after
short.
The extra point was blocked. That was also the end of the first quarter score. Second quarter, back and forth. Both teams adding points. Last 14, though, before halftime, go to Pinkerton. Yanako, 4 touchdowns in all in that first half. 150 yards rushing for Jake Albert. And then the Concord defense here to begin the third quarter. Comes up with a red zone stop. And now have come all the way inside the 3-yard line here in the ensuing drive. 2:47 to go, third quarter. And we're ready to go. Bahoma slot right. It's going to be a quarterback keeper. Concord says touchdown. Officials agree. It's Zach Doward on the sneak. A 3-yard touchdown run. And just like that, it's a 1-score game again as the Astros lead is trimmed to 27-23. I know.
If you turn this way, I can hear you, and we can both do it.
So, Zach Doward, his third carry tonight, results in pay dirt. 3 carries, 6 yards. And now the extra point try from Plant. Up and perfect. Right down the middle, 27-24.
Well, that changes things.
It sure does. Just a 3-point difference now with 2:40 to go in the third.
You got to give Concord a lot of credit. That drive there was very, very sound, working its way down the field. Opened up Doward's abilities a little bit there as far as mixing it up a little bit, and I think that helped Bahoma on the other side. So nice play sequencing there by the Crimson, and we've got ourselves a football game that we thought last night we were going to have.
Yeah. Well, the 87-yard touchdown drive, highlighted there by the 66-yard run from Devon Duncan, eventually paving the way for the Doward 3-yard touchdown on 4th and 1.
But none of that would have happened without that defensive stand down there by the Crimson, Nick, to start to and then, that 3 points is looming large right now. I mean, that's basically requiring Crimson to score another touchdown in order to tie it and an extra point to get ahead here. So Pinkerton's got to respond here. I doubt very much it's going to be in the kickoff. I don't think you're going to see anything kicked much past the 30, but when that offensive unit gets out, they're going to have to return the favor in kind, if you will, to maintain that spread. But, boy, 27-24, I'm not the least bit surprised, to be honest with you.
Here's Plant. Going to give this one a ride to the far side. Handled by Fioli at the 20, 25, met head on at the 30. He's going to lean forward across the 35 all the way up to the 37.
Looks like somebody's shaking up there on the sidelines, Nick. Didn't particularly care for the way he's running back to the huddle. He took quite a hit, I think. Boy, the game is been physical right from the beginning. It's certainly ramping up right now from what I can see so far. We'll see if we see it here.
And kind of a head-to-head hit there.
Yeah, sure was. Yep, he went down. Is he still in the game?
I don't think so.
I think he's out. Yep. Yeah, he took quite a
pop. I believe that was Nate Galbraith.
Yep.
Galbraith, the 5'10 sophomore. Meanwhile, Albert downhill running into Concord territory, a first down.
Boy, he came to play tonight.
13 more for Albert. 176 unofficially and counting.
But the holes that the offensive line are creating him are really allowing him to accelerate through. But he does that on his own. He sees a seam and he just shoots like a star, Nick, right through. And his acceleration is as good as anybody I've seen.
Coming up on 2 minutes against the four-man front. Pinkerton back to the air. Flag on the play. Ball on the ground. Hursom stripped. One of the Pinkerton O-linemen, I think.
He got it back,
able to recover. That's Ryan Lynch. And again, a flag on the play thrown right around the line of scrimmage.
See what happens here when he comes in the side. Nice job.
It's a pretty good strip.
That is a good strip there. Lynch.
That's Theodore
Johnny
Schneebel.
On the spot.
Schneebel, the sophomore, has played well tonight for Concord. Penalty against the Astros is going to be declined by Concord. They like the result of the play. It's going to be second and long for Pinkerton from their own 44-yard line.
Yeah, every time this has happened in the past, though, they've been able to break a long run.
Second and 18. Up the middle. Morrison. Not much.
Picked up right at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. Waiting for him was the big defensive tackle, Ken Mercado.
I was surprised that went up the middle. They've been hitting the off tackle and 3 in the 4 hole pretty regularly there. I haven't seen much available in the 1 or 2. They got some pretty stout defenders. That's something that often gets overlooked by Concord of how good their defensive line is.
Yeah.
That down 4 there has been very effective every time we've seen them play.
Yeah, Wells has been a factor on the edge tonight. Wells in pursuit here, trying to find Yanako from behind.
Yep.
Spins him down after a loss of 1.
Well, this is an interesting decision.
No, it looks like a gain of 1. Either way, 4th and 11 on the way.
This is an interesting decision. You're out at the 50. You're technically in Crimson territory. Going to be interesting to see, but 11 yards is a long way.
Yeah,
do you
it's
really
too
want to
long.
give a short field to Bahoma and Doward? I would think not. And I don't think they are.
Coach O'Reilly going to bring the punt team on here. Final minute, third quarter.
And you got the lead.
4th and 11.
Got to trust in your defense here.
Both Turner and Duncan are back deep for Concord. Fioli, the punter, standing at his own 37-yard line. Good snap. Not a big rush. Right-footed punt in the air. Takes a bounce at the 20.
Wow.
Fielding on the run is Duncan, tripped up.
That's a big play there by...
It's Ryan Lynch.
Ryan Lynch again. He's
Ankle
got
tackle.
himself a night. You know, we've seen him on offense doing it. We've seen him on defense doing it. Now he's doing it on special teams. This kid's got a motor, and he plays full tilt, full time.
Pretty good lacrosse player.
Yes.
In his own right as well.
Yes.
As we found out last spring. 29 seconds remaining. And a 1st and 10 on the way. Concord. Chance to retake the lead here. After surrendering the lead back midway through the second quarter. Bahuma the tail, Doward under center against a 5-man front. They give it to the fullback. Some straight ahead running here.
Looks like about 3.
Gives Concord a little bit of breathing room up to their own 30. I think that's the first carry tonight for Galbraith, so after he was apparently shaken up on that special teams tackle, good to see him back on the field. And it looks like that is going to be the end of the third quarter. Concord cuts into Pinkerton's lead, and all of a sudden, it's just a 3-point game as we head to the fourth quarter. A lot on the line, not just for these two teams either, but statewide. We find out what happens next. Fourth quarter on the other side. Pinkerton a 3-point lead, 27-24 over Concord. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
All right, final 12 minutes of regulation. Fourth quarter begins here in Derry. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals with you. Concord trailing 27-24, and they're going to draw Pinkerton offsides, it looks like, to begin the fourth quarter. What a game it's been tonight. Astros had a halftime lead of 27-17 after scoring 4 touchdowns in the first half on only 4 possessions. Concord almost as good. They gained ground in that third quarter with a red zone stop defensively, and then a long touchdown drive to get back within 3. And now again, they've got the football back, facing a 2nd down and 1 here from their own 35. Handoff, Bahuma left side, hit by Collins. Yeah, that's a loss. A loss of 1. So Bahuma's been contained, Steve. Got off to a hot start in that first quarter, but Pinkerton's done a good job keying in on number 7-6.
Well, it looks to me like the defensive line is doing a good job of stacking the gaps, Nick, and giving the linebackers an opportunity to get better vision here in the what I saw most of that third quarter. But you're right, his production per carry has definitely gone down in the third quarter.
Doward a sneak. Hit initially at the line. Collins again popped him early. Second effort's going to make it close, but I think you're right, Steve. That might be a win for the Astro defense. They're going to spot the ball right at the 35, and he's got to get closer to the 36.5. So I'd say This looks like a legit 4th and 1 coming up.
He was met there by Yannico coming up. I'm looking for the lineman that was on in the A gap there that came through. That was pretty impressive.
4th and short.
This is a big play of the game here.
Astro fans trying to cheer on the defense. Pinkerton looks to blitz. Bahuma hitting the backfield. Second effort. Trying to turn his back to the defense, and it's going to be very close.
Short, I think.
Second, third, fourth effort there for the junior tailback. Little help from his friends as well. Concord thinks they have it. The spot, though, Steve, looks like it's short.
I don't think they do. I don't think they ever did. You got to give Bahuma a ton of credit. They had him behind the line at least twice, maybe hit even a third time, and he dove forward with that powerful legs of his, but he just didn't make it. I'm not even sure, Nick, that might have been a forward progress thing. I think he's going to be about 6 inches short. I could be wrong.
Coach Corkum.
Look at Yannico. Is it Yannico down on the field?
Yannico and Albert down on their chest, trying to get an eye-level view of this thing, and it is short.
Boy, is that a big play. Wow.
So Pinkerton going to force the turnover on downs. The offense going to come on the field with a short field. 1st and 10 coming up at the Concord 37.
There it is here. Watch Bahuma. Once, twice, 3 times, and then they still have him back, and then he forces his body forward, but still wasn't enough.
Looked like a street fight.
It really did. I think that's a good way of putting it. Concord. This is a game, Nick, of 2 teams that you can tell have the same record with it, similar seasons.
Both teams hoping to finish up on a high note with a 7-2 record with a win tonight. Meanwhile, stretch run, Albert not going to get much. Inside the 35 to about the 34, a gain of 2. Albert 150 yards in the first half. He's up close to 175 now.
And Morrison and Yannico have some yardage too, so that's a pretty good rushing figure for just 3 quarters here so far for what's Bahuma have? He's probably hit the century mark, right?
No, he's still pretty short.
Is he?
They've done a good job. By my count.
Here we go.
Close to 50, but not much more. Meanwhile, Albert going to be wrestled down inside the 27-yard line. Good tackle by Connor Hughes. The junior able to wrestle him down one-on-one.
I would say this is 4-down territory, Nick, right here. Looks like about, 2 yards they got to go?
3rd and 2 coming up.
Yeah, deep into the territory of Concord, so we'll see what happens here in this play, but they are using Albert like a workhorse.
I've got Bahuma for 60 even.
60 yards. So the third quarter, they pretty much shut him down. Maybe 10 yards, right?
11 yards by my count in that third quarter. Meanwhile, Yannico, left side, going to break through a couple of arm tackles and burst his way into the red zone, down to about the 17-yard line, a first down for Pinkerton.
Yeah, how about Hersom, Tim Hersom calling the cadence there. That was a great job. Concord was able to get off the ball very effective. I'm sorry, Pinkerton was able to get off the ball with a good cadence call by Hersom.
And a good lead block by Collins as well.
And that's no easy defensive line to push back.
Astros going to take their time here. Already 3 minutes gone by in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, he's been managing it for 40 years. He knows what he's doing when it comes down to the wire.
Coach O'Reilly in no hurry. Yannico going to follow Collins again, left side. This time get tripped up near the line of scrimmage. Concord going to push back this time. As the linebacker, Galbraith, getting in there.
Physical in the trenches right now, Nick. Everybody knows when you get to this point in the game on that football field how important each individual play is. Clock beginning to, what are we, already at 8:10.
Yeah.
We'll be home, unless this thing goes to overtime, we're going to be home early with the pace of this game and how it eats clock.
Both teams have run the ball a lot tonight, as expected. Hersom, Albert, left side, inside the 10. Trucked down by Fodner at about the 8-yard line. And I think a little shy of that first down marker.
About 2 yards shy, a long 2 it looks like. But again, 4-down territory, unless they're going to try to extend it. Now, look at it. Look at Albert going through, and the offensive line doing a good job of providing him some isolation so he can churn up field. What a game this is. If you like good running football, you've seen it.
It's been back and forth. Saw 3 lead changes in the second quarter alone. Yanako inside for touchdown number 5. This one comes from 7 yards out. The senior having a night to remember on
Absolutely.
senior night.
Absolutely.
Astros make it a 2-score game, 33-24, extra point on the way.
You got 8 minutes left, Nick. This extra point for Pinkerton, I feel, is very important because Concord has a good kicker. So when you look at when you kind of estimate the amount of possessions that we have left here, they're probably going to get it a couple times if the defense can come on strong, get them the ball back twice with no more scoring. So this is big.
The kick from Coventry up and good.
And there's your 10 points right there.
34-24.
Yep.
Just over 7 minutes remaining. Pinkerton makes it a 2-score game again, a little more breathing room, and the home fans enjoying things here in late October.
And last night on Gridiron, Nick, when you heard both coaches, the respect that they have for each other and for the teams that they're going to be, that they knew they were going to be playing tonight, each other, or I know, this is what I expected, the kind of game that I expected from last night. Pinkerton, as advertised, Nick, is a very, very improved football team from what we saw early in the year. That'll be the last time I say it tonight other than closing discussion, but we'll see how this game goes, but they're playing well.
As we know, a lot on the line. I mean, that really becomes a motivational factor in its own right. Coach O'Reilly last night called this a playoff game.
It is.
Of course, the Astros win. They'll, I believe, secure the number 4 seed, ensuring a home game next week in the first round, and if they win on what would be a Friday night game.
But Concord would
then they go to the quarterfinals and potentially a chance to host there as well.
Concord with plenty of time. They've got the talent to get back in this ball game again very quickly. They can strike quickly.
Here's a short kick. It's going to catch everyone by surprise. Hughes going to jump on it and recover for Concord at the Crimson 40.
Pretty good field position to start the drive with. Be very interesting to see what they do as far as play sequencing. If they put the risk meter up a little bit and start trying to get Doward's arm into the game.
I think you have to.
I think you have to at this point. They may try to run it to just get a couple first downs, but if there's play action available or something, they've got good receivers. They've been able to give Doward time to throw. I think
down 2 scores, you have to.
You kind of have to, and you got a guy that can roll out and be so effective with a double threat.
Doward going to throw. On 1st and 10, deep down the seam. He's got a man, and it's a first down.
There you go.
Catch made at the 20 by Duncan. One-on-one with Albert, able to pull it in over the right shoulder for a big pickup of nearly 50.
Don't go out in the kitchen, folks. You're going to miss it. This game is just, look at Doward's form. What a throw on his part. Had to throw a perfect strike, and that's exactly what he did. Pretty smart decision there to go for the tackle on the dive and not go for the ball. Otherwise, he would have been in touchdown land right there.
Duncan.
Look at that throw by Doward.
Several
he really
big
impressed
plays
me, Nick.
tonight. Had a 66-yard run, a return that opened up the game in big fashion, and now a 43-yard catch. Meanwhile, run left side, and it's a hard run. That Duncan again, down all the way to the 5-yard line before Pinkerton is able to stop him.
This is that offense, Nick, that I think when Coach Corcoran is mixing it up like this, like he did in a couple other drives earlier, this offense is much more than, not that Bahuma is on a tremendous and great back, but there's other resources to be able to mix it up. Now you come back with Bahuma because you're in the head of the defense. Now you come back with Bahuma. They're going to have to now show some respect.
Just over a minute off the clock, too.
Yeah.
They've put themselves in scoring position very quickly. 1st and goal from the 5. Inside run. Not much. Trying to follow the left guard, but Astros able to swarm. Bahuma just a 2-yard pickup.
They don't have to get a touchdown here, Nick. That's obviously what their preference would be to have the choice and get it within 3 with the extra point. But they don't have to get a touchdown here. It's a 2-score game, but a field goal will put them within 1 score if they're able to get that. But I'm sure they're really looking to get into the end zone. But I think if 4th down comes, they're going to kick it for sure. Only 2nd at this point, though.
Nearly 5 minutes to go. 2nd and
He's
4.
in.
They stay with Doward up the middle. Concord says touchdown. So do the officials. 2nd touchdown run of the night. It comes on the keeper for Doward. And it brings Concord right back within 1 score, 34-30.
Well, if you look at the replay, you're going to see everybody was looking for Bahoma. Here's a replay right here. Nope, I guess not.
A 4-yard touchdown run. And an extra point for the senior Jacob Plant, who's been busy tonight.
Good.
That one up. And good. 34-31. Well, we knew we were in for a high-scoring back-and-forth affair. And that has come to fruition here with just over 5 minutes now remaining. So, Concord, who had to use, Steve, 2 timeouts back in the 3rd quarter. He's going to have to trust the defense here to get the ball back somehow with only 1 timeout to work with.
Yep, but they got to figure out how to stop this Pinkerton offense, Nick. And you could argue that with both teams. This has been an offensive
stops have been hard to
dominated game. Both offenses have really dominated. The Pinkerton's had a couple more stops, and that's the difference between just 3 points in this game.
Right.
34-31.
Got to recap in full. Concord led 7-0 on their opening drive. Elia Bahuma, 4-yard touchdown. Cole Yanako answered a moment later with a 1-yard touchdown for Pinkerton. 7-6 was the Concord lead after 1. First play of the 2nd quarter, Jacob Plant connecting from 28 yards out with a field goal. 10-6 Concord. Pinkerton took their first lead. 3 minutes into the 2nd quarter, Yanako again, a 3-yard touchdown run. 13-10 at that point. Concord back and forth. Bahuma, another touchdown, a 1-yarder. Midway through the 2nd quarter, 17-13 Concord. Then the last 14 go to Pinkerton. Both Yanako touchdowns before halftime of 2 yards and 15 out. That was our score at the break, 27-17. Then 3rd quarter, the lone score, Zach Doward, quarterback keeper, from 3 yards out. Brought the Astros lead back down to 3, 27-24. And then each team, again, exchanging a touchdown here in this 4th quarter. Yanako for Pinkerton, and then Doward a moment ago. So here we are at 34-31. 5 minutes remain. A short return across the 30 will set up Pinkerton 1st and 10 at their own 33.
Surprised they kicked it to him.
I think that's Albert's first return of the night.
It is. It's the first time they've kicked it to him. I was really surprised they kicked it deep, but they did.
Concord has had an effort to keep the ball away from him, and
had a nice.
And we get another whistle here before the official spot it. There's an injury here for Concord.
Number 50, I think.
It's Doug Smith. Seniors played well tonight.
Yep.
And apparently shaken up down at the 40-yard line.
Looks like something on the left leg.
Reminder after the game, full recap here in Derry. Stats, highlights, analysis, and a look around the state as well. Rivalry game between Bedford and Merrimack coming down to the wire. Some of those battles out east, divisional battles, and
we were talking about that.
Maybe a playoff preview as well. As a reminder to our audience, tune in Thursday night, FNL Gridiron. That'll really set the table for the playoffs as we speak exclusively with coaches, players, and media members every week. Thursday at 6. It's FNL Gridiron. It's presented by Beals Insurance, and it's only on Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire. FNLNH Media on YouTube.
All right, Albert.
Out of the timeout, Albert near side. Going to be tackled inbounds. along the near sideline after a pickup of what, about 5?
Yeah.
Up to about the 38-yard line, a 5-yard pickup, 2nd and 5.
He's amazing. There's nothing there, and he still gets 5 yards. And a lot of it is waiting for the right time to turn upfield. He waits for the blocks to develop, and he pushes the pack here as he goes forward. I tell you, he's not a big guy as far as stats is concerned, but don't underestimate this young man's strength. Heading to Merrimack College on a baseball commitment.
Yeah, just a great all-around athlete, as we know.
Yep.
Unofficially, 188 yards tonight on 18 carries. Yanako's had 5 touchdowns to his credit, and he's up close to the first down marker. Both these guys, both these seniors have had memorable performances tonight on senior night. Yanako, 5 touchdowns. Albert, nearly 200 yards.
Yeah, and Morrison coming in third place with a lot of important yardage in the second quarter that they needed badly. But you can see as the game is developed, it gets to the end of the wire here, they're sticking with the 2 seniors most of the time.
Right.
But you got to give Morrison credit. That just helps take some of the bearing off and spreads out the field a little bit and creates a little more respect across the board with all 3 running backs in this game. And I'm surprised again at measurement. I thought he was about half a yard short, but I guess not.
Well,
yeah,
I think you're right, Steve.
Yeah.
He is short, a couple inches.
I don't know.
You know what? With only 4 minutes to go, this may actually benefit Pinkerton.
Yes,
being short, because they're going to get an extra play out of it.
Absolutely.
And with only 2 inches to go before a first down, it's tough for Concord to hold them here.
Yep. So I don't know as I'd call this 4-down territory, so looks like they're going to have to do it here. They're probably going to punt it away and keep on their defense if they're not able to attain it. But it's pretty tight here, and it's going to take a heck of a play to stop.
Haven't seen too many run plays go for negative yardage tonight.
No, that's my point. Yeah.
Maybe one each way.
Yep. But no need to get too cute on this one because you don't want anything fumble in the backfield or.
Coach O'Reilly trying to use as much of the play clock as well before the snap. Hand off. It's Albert straight ahead.
Boy, they do
First
it well.
down and then some. Down to the Concord 48.
They do it so well, Nick. They get through the line of scrimmage. That's the key. They got a good cadence. Hersum's really improved on his cadence calls. He's helping his offensive line Albert protecting the football. He is a veteran and a very sharp athlete on whatever he does on the field.
Tackle by Turner, but not before another 10 for the seniors total.
In Concord territory right now, another 10 yards. And it
again,
really makes it tough for Concord, Nick, because it allows Coach O'Reilly to go 4-down territory.
And again, Concord with just one timeout. Albert, head of steam, 7 more. Turner, another tackle for Concord.
Yeah, you're right, Nick. You called that earlier. They used 2 timeouts in the third quarter
on the same drive.
And in the game like this, that becomes very valuable things to have lost. But they do have the one. At least they have the one where they can stop it. But right now, they're going to have to somehow wrestle this ball away from Pinkerton if they're going to have a chance, because the clock is burning already down to 2:30.
Yeah.
And that's what these type offenses do for you when you're ahead late in the season with these running attacks.
Albert again. Through the A-gap, spins his way down to where? About the 37? That's very
close. I think he may have it. I think he has it, Nick. They're going to measure again. I think he's got it. Yes, he does. Yep. Just want to continue to call attention, if we can get a picture, which we do, with Coach O'Reilly and Tim Hurstum down in the field. This is, I think, Coach Ball and Coach O'Reilly, the decades of experience they have working with quarterbacks. You see the progression in this young man. This is a big game, a lot of reasons to have the jitters, and it's what goes on during the week behind the scenes that puts these guys in position. In this case, Tim Hurstum's, other than that one little mishap with a with a kind of a botched handoff there or a botched fake. He's been
watch for a quick snap here. They break the huddle quickly. They hand for Albert. He's got a first down. No, it's Yannick, sorry, down to the 30. And he does not have the first down. He's got 8, but he needed 10, so 2nd and 2 on the way.
And in this situation, Nick, it's so hard because you want to stop that clock, but you can't.
Right.
And when you
now they're going to have to.
Now they're going to have to. Absolutely.
2nd and 2 coming up.
And
Concord
you don't want to burn it.
Is going to burn their final timeout here to stop the clock with 1:13 remaining. So that is their 3rd and final timeout. Just 73 seconds remaining, and still Concord facing a 3-point gap.
Great to have a great defense, but boy, when you've got an offense that can just keep the ball away from your opposition with a 3-point lead like this, this is what I saw, Nick. This sort of running attack is what I saw the 25, 30 minutes I saw of the Brockton game. When you can run against the Brockton boxes, you've improved your running attack. Coach O'Reilly seemed very, on our show on Gridiron last night, seemed very, I don't know if I use the word confident, but certainly very calm. Seems to me like you can always tell. I think you could tell.
I think he's happy where they are.
He's happy where his team is, and he recognizes. I believe he thinks that they're aware of how important this game, and both of these teams have played that way tonight.
Just look at the body of work here. They can hang on, finish at 7 and 2.
Yep.
And the 2 losses were who?
Yep.
Londonderry and Brockton.
Right. So
not too bad.
Yeah, not bad at all.
All right, Hersom under center out of the timeout. Hand left side, Yanako inside the 25 down to the 23. Going to corkscrew his way for a first down. Hughes in on the tackle, but not before the sticks are moved. And again, Concord out of timeouts as we move now inside the final minute here of the 4th quarter.
And I really like the little things that are going on in this game. All the running backs are holding that ball with 10 points of pressure, Nick, and creating that ball and making sure it can't be popped out. These are the sort of things that the internal parts of the game that, you got to know how to close a game out, and they're showing they can do it so far in this game in a big way against a very good Concord team.
Should be the final play here. Hersom going to take a knee, and that is going to do it. Well, what a game tonight. Pinkerton virtually unstoppable in that first half on offense. They keep Concord at arm's length in the second half, and they're going to wind up with a 34-31 victory. Cole Yanako tonight on senior night scores 5 touchdowns. Jacob Albert, the senior, nearly 200 yards on the ground. And all in all, a good team win for the Astros as they finish up the regular season 7 and 2 and will play host next week in the preliminary round of the playoffs.
So it's going to be very interesting. We'll have that on Gridiron next week on Thursday. We'll have the breakdown of all the matchups and the teams, so tune in that on 6 o'clock on Thursday live, where we'll break down the playoffs. Nick and Ben really get into that. I kind of just sit on the sidelines and wait for the matchups, but these guys really slice it and dice it, and we'll have all that information for you then. I couldn't agree with you more, Nick. This is a big win for Pinkerton, but this team has been consistently moving in this direction. As far as Concord is concerned, let's not forget they just lost by 3 points to Pinkerton. They're still very much in the hunt.
Right.
They've got a lot of weapons. Sure, they're a little frustrated right now, but if you can come back and win a playoff game next week, then that's going to put things back in perspective. I don't think we've seen the end of Concord yet.
Not at
by
all.
any stretch.
34-31 the final. We'll step aside, come back with the post-game report, full recap, stats, highlights, analysis, Week 9 scoreboard, and more coming up in just a moment. Astros a winner, 34-31 over Concord. You're watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
Hey, I'm Chad, the owner of New Hampshire iPhone Repair. We're New Hampshire's most trusted and affordable repair shop for your iPhone, iPad, iPod, and even Android needs. Don't worry, we're affordable, reliable, and we back our parts with a lifetime warranty. And you know what the best part is? No, what? We can repair your phone while you wait.
I know, that's why I'm here.
Oh, I know, Mrs. Green. Here's your iPad, good as new. Bring your phone into New Hampshire iPhone Repair today.
I'm Travis Kelsey, and this is Zen Water. The perfect alkaline water for sports hydration and the only water that's in a bottle that prevents ocean pollution. Ultra pure alkaline water in a bottle that prevents ocean pollution. Why would you drink anything else? Seriously, why would you drink anything else?
The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. The New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school varsity and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com. How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include tickets and discount cards to hundreds of local businesses. MG Sports now has a digital platform where athletes can raise funds in the comfort and safety of their own home. Don't waste another season. Raise more funds than ever before and become another football program in New Hampshire that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com to start raising money for your team today.
Well, we knew it would be tight tonight, and it was. Pinkerton, a 3-point winner, 34-31 over Concord. Astros 7-2, and we'll play home next week in the playoffs. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals with you. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire game of the week. And it started off pretty well for Concord. A big kickoff return, a short field, a 4-yard touchdown for Ilya Bohuma. Gave the Crimson a 7-0 lead just over 3 minutes into the game. Pinkerton, on their first possession, responded on the strength of Jake Albert, setting up his classmate Cole Yanako, a 1-yard touchdown. Extra point failed. 7-6 Concord after 1 quarter of play. First play of the second quarter, Jacob Plant adds 3 more to the Concord total with a 28-yard field goal, 10-6 at that point. Astros took their first lead just over 3 minutes later. Yanako again, a 3-yard touchdown, 13-10 Astros after the extra point was up and good. Back and forth we go. Concord with an answer just 2 minutes later. Ilya Bohuma, his second touchdown comes from a yard out. The junior gives Concord a 17-13 lead. But Pinkerton would have the last laugh before halftime. 2 more touchdowns on the board, both from Yanako. 2 yards out, 15 yards out. The senior has 4 TDs at halftime. And Pinkerton had a 27-17 lead on the board. Concord then comes up in the third quarter with a red zone stop. They march 87 yards down the field and punch it in from 3 yards away. Zach Doward made it 27-24, and Concord was within shouting distance to begin the fourth quarter, down only 3. But Pinkerton Janako wasn't done yet. A 7-yard score, his 5th of the evening, gave Pinkerton the necessary breathing room, 34-24 at that point. Concord, one last hurrah, so to speak. Doward, another touchdown plunge from 4 yards out, 34-31, less than 6 minutes to go at that point, and then Concord just could not force Pinkerton off the field as the Astros run out the clock and come away with a 34-31 victory. Jake Albert, 150 yards in the first half, 176 after the third quarter. 32 more in the fourth, so if my West High math is correct, that's 208 yards tonight for Jacob Albert to lead the way for Pinkerton. Ilya Bohuma kind of bottled up in that second half, just 62 yards tonight unofficially for Concord. So the Crimson most likely going to have to play on the road next week in the preliminary round, while Pinkerton will play right here on Friday night. Opponent to be determined, but again, we'll break all that down. All the bracketology you need comes your way Thursday night, 6 o'clock, when we break it down on FNL Gridiron, presented by Beals Insurance. Steve, some other scores? I know you're anxious. How about a Londonderry win? Not a surprise. Over Salem, 41-7. They finish up at 8-1 and unbeaten against in-state competition. Exeter, they got another win tonight over Memorial, 41-22. A few seconds to go in that fourth quarter. South beat up on Goffstown, 34-14. That was the halftime score, and well, in the third quarter, Purple Panthers still up by 20. Winnicott and Spalding, Steve, are going to end in a 14-14 tie as that goes final out on the beach. Spalding, to their credit, trailed early in that game. Neither team finding a way to win. It ends in a 14-14 tie. And right now, Steve, the Merrimack Tomahawks, they got Bedford on the ropes. 24-14 with just over 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
That's a shock right there. But we did talk last night off air that we thought that could be a very competitive game because that's in Bedford, which is quite
told
surprising.
You Merrimack was better than people thought.
No, I know. I'm giving you credit where it's due. I didn't think that's an interesting score. Again, when you talk about a snapshot of a team in the first 4 weeks, that's one thing. But when you're looking at a snapshot of a team when it gets into the into this late part of the season, Nick. That's not what Bedford wants at this point. It is what Merrimack wants, of course. Congratulations to Kip Jackson for at least coming up with one heck of a competitive game and a very good chance of coming out on top here. That is a big stun there for Bedford. Be interesting to see where that takes playoff implications as it relates to them moving forward. So, but we came to the right game tonight to see, and the significance of this game, especially to Pinkerton, if they weren't victorious, would have really fallen down the ladder. You could see Coach O'Reilly's, I wouldn't call it glee, but I would say a great deal of positive vibes coming off him, watching him talking to his players.
Yeah.
Kind of a mission accomplished young men. Yeah. Great job. It's in your hands from here. So,
well, I want to thank Coach O'Reilly for giving us a green light so early, allowing us up here to do our thing in the press box. We appreciate Coach. Had a good time talking with him earlier this week as well. I want to thank Concord head man Jim Corkum.
What a job
for joining
he's done.
Us last night. Yeah, from 3-6 to 6-3, and a playoff berth, not too shabby on just his second year on the job. I want to thank the Astros staff here as well, the game day staff,
very
the assistants in the athletic department, always doing a great job.
Well, I can tell you one thing, the snack bar did all right tonight.
Yeah, I'd say they were swarmed at halftime and still open for some late arrivers as well. All right.
Final thoughts?
Final thoughts? You got any?
I do. I think there was an opportunity here to utilize Zach Doward in somewhat in the second quarter and in the third quarter, beginning of the fourth, Nick. I thought there were times with Concord, the play sequencing and the play calling and everything was just outstanding, and they benefited from that. But I think Coach O'Reilly, as early as the very end of the first, certainly in the 4 or 5 minutes into the second quarter, the defensive unit decided we're going to sell out on Bahuma, and we are not going to let him beat us. It's going to have to be somebody else. And that's a time where I think that the offensive scheme has to change and respect that and start doing something else. It's by no means critical, Nick. It just, I give Coach O'Reilly, this is less about what Concord didn't do and what Pinkerton decided to do on defense, and I think it came back to their benefit a great deal, and I think it was a great call by whoever made it. I would assume came from the top. And once Bahuma wasn't able to take hold and rip off the kind of yardage that Albert was, then I think that was an inflection point of the game that really began to play in Pinkerton's favor. I'll end by saying this. Just remember, though, Pinkerton was at home tonight, and they beat Concord by 3 points.
Yeah.
These are two excellent football teams and going to cause a lot of havoc in the playoffs.
Yep. Going to be a problem for somebody.
Yep.
We know that. Want to thank our crew here, putting in work tonight on the scene in Derry.
Yes.
John Barron, great job spearheading the setup and handling the end zone camera as well. Of course, Matt Beals making another trip up from Washington, D.C. We appreciate having him on the scene again tonight. Of course, Kristen Beals upstairs, braving the cold weather and providing the overhead shot as usual, doing a bang-up job. Of course, the man behind the curtain is our director, Ben Beals, back in the Beals Insurance Studios, as usual, doing a great job with the replays. Steve Beals, calling another great game tonight, my friend. The pleasure was mine. And, of course, my name is Nick Anastas. Us here at Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire, moving forward with the spirit of Craig Incardoni still fresh in our minds.
To that.
Rest in peace to our good friend. Final score, final time, Pinkerton 34, Concord 31. This has been a presentation of our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.